Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Crit Seekers. So, we're just going to jump right into it because we are in a bit of a time constraint. So, we're going to do our recap from last week's episode. Previously on Crit Seekers. Turmoil in the Taelented Seven. After being confronted by Nimue, Tael loses control and attempts to throttle the well-meaning cleric. Seven gives chase after Tael flees and helps in convincing him to stay and asks the group for help in resolving his dilemma. Finally leaving the city of Midcross, a ruined watchtower is found and the group investigate. Inside, they find an elf named Artanus, who just may be able to help them answer some of their unanswered questions. And that's where we left off. So,
Wow.
Wowzers.
Oh, never changes.
I see.
I said I'd do it. I did it. So
I'm
here
proud
we
of
are.
you. And now you have to keep doing it from here on out.
Whoa.
Oh, strikes the wilds. Once again.
As you had been discussing with Artanus down in the Watchtower, you had heard a noise from up above, and Artanus basically said it looks like you may be able to help him after all, and proceeded to lead you up a path that wound up the kind of hillside that the Watchtower is built up against, and onto the top of the Watchtower where you could see this kind of crackling red energy portal in the center of the Watchtower that was surrounded by four pillars that had these almost claw-like appendages that came up off of them and leaned over the portal itself.
Oh, shit, that's what that's on there?
You can see that there are, these, though they look like rocks, they're kind of like piles of sandbags.
Sand.
One of the like a table that's similar to the ones that you saw on the Watchtower flipped over on its side. There's some brick walls that are these purple foam pieces, so I don't have any brick walls, and a scattering of barrels that kind of look like makeshift cover for whatever is done in this Watchtower. And as you'd come up to the top, you could see through this crackling portal shapes starting to make their way out of the portal itself. And I'm gonna need everybody to roll me some initiative.
Just a quick question. Are those made out of paper clips?
Yes.
Nice. Crafty. I rolled really good.
Didn't.
I did, but I also have advantage on my initiative rolls.
Okay.
Oof.
That's nice.
Yep, I've had it since level 1. That's why
Right,
I've always had a
seven.
good initiative.
Turn everything into those creatures. So that way you don't have any stats.
Shoot. To initiative.
Stupid.
That was that.
Oh, man, I wish I could go back to that. That was so nice.
For some reason, I can't look at it when I'm doing this, which is dumb.
Would
Anyway,
you just look at it?
let's go down
Just
the
look
line.
at it.
Nimue.
I got an 18.
18. Tail.
7.
Oof. 7.
23. I was like, wait, hold on.
Nix.
14.
DeWitt.
16.
Kaya.
9.
9.
Wait, what did you roll, Nimue?
Artanus.
I got an 18.
Oh, shit, I'm first?
I'm the second.
Nice.
What
Got-
the fuck, guys?
Hell yeah.
I rolled a 4.
The 6.
Wait. Oh, you had 8, right?
7.
Oh, 7. You had 9? Okay, I thought you had 9. I was like, you have a +5 to Dex? I was like,
No.
what the fuck?
Stupid dexterity. What? Hello? Oh, there you go.
I could have had a +5 to my Dex right now.
Sucks to suck, doesn't it?
Tail, you're on last.
Three different
Yeah.
books, I don't
Sounds about right.
Some ASMR.
Yeah.
I
This sucks
realized
ass, Samar.
Asthma.
ASMR.
Asthma.
Eczema?
Asthma?
you got
Say
eggs.
you have eczema?
I realized
cool.
that with that fight with
matcha?
Mommy, that
Yeah.
some of the damage was wrong because I'm resistant to necrotic damage.
Oh, so what you're saying
Wow,
is
that
you're
really
dumb.
could have
Wow.
fucking helped.
Yeah.
You're a dumbass, Samar?
You're resistant to necrotic
Yep.
Yeah, 'cause she's
and
a fallen
radiant
ass.
damage.
and radiant?
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
That literally might have prevented me from losing my points.
You're literally ruined the whole game.
Wow.
Planned.
So,
Wow. there's gonna be tension over here at this side of the table. Yeah.
Next
We're gonna
time you
need to
go
move
down.
to
Yeah.
So, as you all get to the top of this tower and see this crackling portal take shape and you see figures start to emerge, the first figure you see emerge from it is this kind of withered skeletal human-like figure that is dressed in these like black robes. There's like a shawl that comes over its shoulder and comes down to almost, there's a robe that's split down the chest and comes down the back, almost down to its knees at point. And you can see the robes kind of tattered and torn and old, dusty looking, almost as bad as the withered form beneath it, and steps out and is going to make a move. Definitely can see you guys as he steps out of the portal and starts to kind of move for the brick wall covers just a little ways behind. So it would be 5, 10, 15. And he's going to dash.
Did he really have the highest initiative?
Yep.
Damn, wow.
No, he's going to go there.
He's the only one that came out.
Of the
At
rift.
the moment. And then 7, it is your turn.
Okay, the rift is still like
The rift is still crackling.
Clearly
You can
open.
see other forms starting to
Yeah.
pull through it. It's not very wide. It's maybe like a foot wide at this point.
Okay.
And you could see when his form stepped through it, it almost seemed to like crackle and bulge and strain as he pulled through the rift itself, almost straining himself as he did. And then the rift snapped back to that same shape and kind of just undulates almost like a gash in the world itself.
okay. Where is my dude? Oh, okay. Cool. I'm just gonna move. Oh, I moved poorly. All right, there you go.
shows.
That's a lot more efficient. Okay. For bonus action, I'm gonna put Slayer's Prey on the first dude,
Okay.
and I'm gonna shoot him.
All right.
Are you still at 1 level of exhaustion?
Yes. So I still have disadvantage on my checks.
Oh. And that includes attack rolls? That
Yes.
fucking blows.
Disadvantage on ability checks. Attack rolls is
Oh, is it
level
not
3.
attack rolls
it's
too?
just ability checks.
Oh, I thought. Okay, never mind. I don't need to do this then.
Yeah.
Well, I got a 20. Not natural, just 20.
Okay. That hits.
Okay, so that's my first hit. And I can use my actual D20. Poop! Okay, the second one doesn't hit. Unless
Okay.
a 10 hits.
A 10 does not.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Okay.
So 7, seeing this figure step out, runs over to the sandbags just to your guys' right and takes a stance and pulls out an arrow and takes aim and shoots. The first one strikes true, and as the figure turns, as he draws his second arrow, and it just barely passes past his shoulder, missing him.
15 damage for the one arrow.
Nice. You can see that it doesn't have quite the effect that you were looking for.
I hate him already.
Um,
Your longbow isn't cool enough.
and is that your turn?
Yes, that's my
So
whole
he
turn.
takes the first arrow and just like straightens up, doesn't look super phased by it. Artanus is going to follow suit and step up kind of next to on the other side of the sandbags from 7 and pull out a longbow himself. And as he's kind of walking, he's going to turn to all of you and just say, I do require your help here. I will explain afterwards, but please just see this through with me.
Is that an action?
And
Is that an action?
that's not an action. And that's his turn.
Wow.
You get inspiration. Really? From that?
So he pulls out a longbow, and you can see him you hear him mutter the word Shilak. And the string of the bow itself, there's kind of this green tendril of energy that spirals down the string of the bow. And as he pulls it, you can see it's that kind of dark wood, really elegant elven bow. And he draws an arrow, and as he pulls back, you can see that tendril of green energy surround the arrow itself and shoot towards
7, get on his level.
I was literally going to ask him that. Wow, I wanna
his
know
first attack misses, I believe. Oh, wait. No, it doesn't, because he has a plus 12 to his attack rolls.
Jesus.
So you can see the arrow strike out and hit this creature in the chest, and this like splash of acid, as the green tendrils splash off the arrow itself and onto the chest of this creature. And he does. Those are my sound effects.
He does so much damage.
Tons of damage. 2 damage.
Oh, so that'd be 10, and then poison.
My next character is gonna be an archer, and his name's gonna be Pepe Le Pew Pew.
He does poison damage.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Good.
Yeah. So the acid splashes on. You can see it. He
Yeah.
pulls another arrow back and fires again at this creature. Natural 20.
Oh.
All right. So that'd be
Canceled. I'm just kidding.
6. 5 is 11, and then 5
I'm just one of those
16.
clerics that's like, no matter what happens, I have to like.
When you
look
only
at
get
it.
XP for the kill, so you have to cancel your own teammate's crit.
So you can see
I need the kill cancel.
shortly after the first arrow strikes it in the chest, another arrow strikes almost in the same place as the first arrow, and another splash of acid splashes up on the face of this creature, and its withered skin, you can see it splash on its face and start to like melt as some of its skin peels away, and you can see skeleton, which it doesn't seem to mind. It doesn't seem to affect, like, it's not screaming like its skin is melting off, basically.
See, he's
but
already
its
dead
skin
inside.
is melting off.
Just
Yes.
like
I think that is his turn, because he has...
nervous laugh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Cool. Just wanted to make sure.
Oh, fuck.
After your Artanus shoots these 2 arrows, you can see 2 more forms start to kind of the
boy.
rift pulses and stretches, and you can see these hunched over forms of these creatures that kind of have these black hoods over them, and their arms kind of curled up at their chests as they walk out and look in your direction, and you can see these black, like void-like eyes with this mouth that seems to stretch down about a foot, almost like Scream, like that kind of mouth, and there's like this black bottomless void as you look into the mouth of this creature. 2 of them are going to step out and start making their way towards you all.
How cute.
The fuck are you? Look at me.
Look at me. See?
There. And then as they get close to you, there's this kind of like black energetic pulse that pulses from them and into the ground and towards you all. And all of you in the area of them suffer 5 necrotic damage.
Oh yeah, I'm real close, huh?
Am I close enough?
Close
or?
enough.
Within 30 feet of it.
Would that be 2 or 3 for me?
Halved would be lesser, so 2.
You said
Wait,
5?
does that hit me?
I'm really hurt.
Let me check. I believe so.
I know I'm on towards the edge of it.
Yeah,
but,
it definitely hits
okay.
you.
Oh, you know
25,
what?
you're at 25 feet.
So how
I'm
much?
halfway
What do we roll again? Or what are we taking damage?
5
Uncanny
necrotic
dodge.
5
damage.
necrotic.
Yeah, because then it's reset when it's my turn, right?
What is?
Uncanny dodge. It's not top of the round. It's till my
No,
next
it's
turn.
just once per round.
You can't dodge this damage, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. That's
Mhm.
fine. That's fine. Never mind.
But you are correct.
you
It is once per
doge?
round. It's what is once per round.
That starts
That'll
on my
be-
next turn. Okay, cool.
So they move. They do that. That's their. This one is going to look to you, Nyx, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Rest in pieces, pepperoni man.
Well, I do have a plus.
Prestidigitations, my dude.
Oh my god.
Prestidigitation?
Ooh.
That is really bad, and I failed by a lot.
How do you know?
Well, I rolled a 2,
Okay, you
and so
failed.
that's a 4.
And so that's a 1.
Wow, the save
That's how I
DC was
know.
1.
That's how I know.
So, as you look at this creature approaching you, you start to feel like within you this kind of withering, tearing feeling, and you suffer
Wither.
23 points of necrotic damage.
Jesus Christ.
Ooh woo.
Yes, Cristo.
And you guys are still a little far away for him to be able to do that. So he's not going to do it. He's just going to spend his action.
Dick.
See you guys. And that is their turn. As they emerge, you see a crackle again.
Damn it. How did they
As-
all roll so much better than me?
They all rolled really, really high.
Wait, can I uncanny dodge that?
No, unfortunately.
Okay.
You can dodge like physical damage. You can dodge, but this was like internal, like from looking at this creature. So there
Okay.
wasn't anything to
Okay.
dodge, unfortunately.
I avert my glaze and I
Your glaze.
glaze.
my gaze.
I'm blind.
Again, this portal withers and stretches, and you can see another figure emerge. This one in these long, thick, like leather-like material. Unlike any leather you've seen, but this
I want
dark black, almost like deep purple material that there's like an overcoat that flows down to his feet, and the same type of leather armored like material underneath, just this really thick like chest piece and like a skirt, almost an armored skirt, and steps out, and you can see skin of almost the exact same color and these two horns that protrude up probably about like 4 or 5 inches, and there's smaller horns on his head, almost like Darth Maul or like a Zabrak from Star Wars, like head like that, and this really like wispy stringy black hair that looks almost oiled and matted that falls down to his shoulders. This really
it.
square, thick face that steps out and looks to you all, and these like leathery demon-like wings sprout from his back, and he takes up, flies up.
What a son of a hoe. Oh,
Oh, he knocks down the column.
great.
So he flies up. Those are each 10 is what I was counting. So 20 feet up. And just looks to all of you and just sees all, like kind of glances at all of you down here and goes, welcome. My master bids you all, well, a fond hello. Now, are you going to stand in our way? And he flashes these yellow, kind of like almost coffee stained looking teeth with points
Don't
at the
call
end
me
of
out.
them. And just stares to all of you. He's gonna wait to do anything.
We're going to call him Big Dick.
They also get temporary hit points.
I've got Old Boy, 2 Big Mouthies, and Big Dick. Because I have to give our enemies a name in order to put them in the initiative.
As
order.
he flies up, you can
Big
see
wing
the
enemy.
2 creatures that approached you all almost like bolster and straighten themselves as if they feel strengthened by his presence. Nimue, it is your turn.
I'm going to cast Beacon of Hope. I'm going to move to make sure that I can get 7 in it if I can't see him from where I'm at.
What's the range again?
It's 30 feet. So I just want to make sure that I can get everybody.
He's within 25 of you.
Okay. It has to be in my sight so I can see.
You can see him.
I can see all of them, right?
Yeah, you can see everybody.
Then all allies get Beacon of Hope, which gives advantage on Wisdom saving throws, advantage on Death saving throws, and you get the max healing from any healing that you get.
Hell
Nice.
yeah.
How long does that last again?
It lasts as long as my concentration does, which is
Oh, nice.
so I am in fact concentrating.
I was gonna say, I don't know, do I have a concentrating one? If not,
I mark my own like little like my thing here when I'm.
it's more for
concentrating.
me.
Fair
but
enough.
I think I have a mark. I can mark it on here. Actually, there's like a little checkbox, which is kind of cool.
Wow.
So
And then that is my action, and for my bonus action, I'm going to summon my spiritual weapon.
okay,
And today it's gonna be like a sick lance or something,
a sick
like a
lance.
harpoon.
Okay,
Summon a harpoon gun.
where
and a
would you like to
360
summon
no
it?
scope. Yeah.
In front of the big bad scary dude that's like in front
flying
of me.
guy?
No, because I can't summon it that far. I think it's like
No,
30 feet. So
you can't.
just there's the guy on like the right there, right?
this guy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
He's to the left of all of you.
Okay, yeah.
Like right in front of him.
Well, that's my right
'Kay.
because I'm
Yeah, no, I
sitting
feel
over
ya.
here.
So this spectral lance appears in the air, floating in front of it. This kind of radiant energy.
And I'm going to whack him. I'm gonna
Right.
stab him with it.
Make your attack roll.
That's not bad. Plus 8 is going to be 22 to hit.
22 hits.
I just cast it at 2nd level, by the way.
That's force damage.
Sorry, before you do that, you can still make that attack. but as you look towards this creature and cast your spiritual weapon, your gaze goes straight for its eyes, and you can feel you starting to like lose concentration staring into its eyes, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Son of a hoe. That's a 16.
A 16 is a success.
Good. So my spiritual weapon is a 1d8 plus spellcasting modifier.
Unless- Okay, so you don't take any damage.
Cool. So that's 8 damage to him from the spiritual weapon.
Nice.
And then as I notice that happens, I'm just gonna look away from him, and I'm not gonna look at the other dude either.
Okay. Hold on, 8 damage. Perfect.
And then I'll.
Wait. Yeah. You avert your gaze from it. Got it.
I'm gonna move closer to 7.
Okay. How close do you want to get?
Like 10 feet behind him, like in between him and Kaya, or actually,
Like, so you can be like 5 feet from Kaya, 10 feet behind 7.
yeah, that works.
Yeah. Okay.
That's my turn.
Okay. So Nimue kind of rushes up, positioning herself between the sandbags, the rest of your group, and these creatures. DeWitt, it's your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna cast polymorph on the big bad evil guy here.
The
The one
big
flying?
bad day.
Yep.
Okay.
Wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Just making sure he
I can't believe you done this.
That's an 8.
Fail. I turn him into a moth.
Don't
Okay.
hit the moth.
So you see this creature fly up and then like shrink down in size. I don't know. I don't think I don't have a moth. So
What do you have, man?
Go get a real
You don't have a
I
moth.
have a shark.
it's a D4.
have a moth.
Duh. Do they
You
have
didn't all
moth
think
minis?
like, oh, you have a moth mini, a Mothman mini.
You don't have a moth, unfortunately. So you see him shrink down in size, and you can barely see this little, almost like winged creature just like fluttering above where he had been.
And then after that, I'm feeling pretty good. First time I use that. So,
It is. It's the first time you've used that.
I'll start to play a tune, and I will begin to sing. You were told a million times of all the troubles in your way. Mind you grow a little wiser, a little more like Nimue. But if you crossed a million rivers and you rode a million miles, you'd still be where you started, jacking off for quite a while. Well, I've sang a million songs about this silly, weird family, but I've never seen our faces on any board on any day. Now you think that you are more than us, being superstars, but I tell you that's the saddest cry. We'll be drinking in the bar. Keep yourselves alive. Keep yourselves alive, all you people, keep yourselves alive. And then I'll do my Mantle of Inspiration, and I'll give Tail, Kaya, and Nimue points, and they can use their reaction to move if they want.
Very nice.
How many hit points?
8.
Tail Kaya and Nimue.
Yep.
Okay.
And then I'm going to move up right behind Artanus and be like, what's up, bro? You're my new homie, dude.
I'll move. Like a no, I want to stay next to people, so I'm just gonna stay there.
Okay.
I gotta be nearby just in case you
It's
guys
a
step
reaction,
out.
right? And it doesn't cut. There's
It doesn't
no,
provoke attack of opportunities.
Okay.
Right.
Did I notice it turn into a moth?
Make a perception check.
It's not there anymore.
14.
That guy's
Yeah.
like, are you guys
You watch
going
it
to
disappear and
prevent-"
kind of looking up as you saw his form shift out. You can barely see this little fluttering creature.
Okay, cool. I'm just going to walk up to RD really quick.
You're like, you walk up right next to this creature that's there, but you're next to Artie.
Hey, RT, can we stop Porto somehow?
That is what those rods are in place for, to keep it at bay while we eliminate the threat.
So we can't collapse Porto at moment?
There is no magic I know to collapse a portal, no.
Okay, then I'm just gonna move past him at a slight angle, like to get. Yeah,
You've got about, I think, 10 feet.
just gonna go in front of him.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna stay there.
All right.
Are you moving?
Yeah, I'll move towards Big Bade.
Right here?
No, sorry, not that big baddie. The
This one?
that everyone's around. Yeah, that one.
The one
that
that's
this one
everyone's
right here?
Right by everybody. Okay. Yeah.
I'll just move there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
you gonna-
Nyx.
Oh wait, no. That's how you turn.
Okie dokie. I'm so happy you did that, so I can get sneak attack.
You're welcome.
So you move up to this creature that's approached you and surged this necrotic energy into you all, having Kaya run up next to it as well.
And I try and stab it with my dagger, and that's pretty good. That is like 25.
That is definitely a hit.
Okie dokie.
Which dagger are you stabbing it with? The good one.
Why are you asking me that? I'm gonna ruin my dagger.
Just roll your damage.
I
The
don't
only
want to
dagger that does
now.
damage.
Oh, why are you gonna ruin my night? If that dagger goes down, I'm gonna be real sad.
Just roll your damage.
Pretty sure it's just determine if it's magical or not. Very average.
16, 22 points.
Nice. 22 points of damage. As you come up next to Kaya and take a slash into this kind of hunched over creature's leg, you stab the dagger in and pull it out, and there's this dark black blood that follows the dagger itself, and it makes like a no, it seemed to actually do damage that you were intending it to do.
Oh, okay. Scary. I thought
So
it was gonna ruin my
nervous.
daggers.
Me
No,
when
like
I find
bust
out
or
I don't have any
something.
more Arizonas in my fridge.
All right. Anything else for your turn, Nyx?
Maybe. Let me see. Oh yeah, maybe I'll just try to. No, I'm gonna bonus action disengage.
Very nice.
I'm gonna move away.
Okay.
Smart,
Fine.
smart.
Kaya,
Fine,
Nyx runs up
sir.
to you, stabs this thing in the leg, and pulls her dagger out, and then just quickly like steps back out of your view as you're looking at this creature. Oh, I'm sorry. I got to remember to do this. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw as you were looking at this creature as you stabbed it.
I was
As your
looking at
vis-
like his knees.
Yeah, but your vision still like goes up into his eyes. It doesn't
Are you
negate.
trying
It
to
doesn't negate your attack.
Oh, that's
so
a
that's
lot.
fine.
That's a 20.
A 20. That's a success.
Shut up.
So-
What are you, my dad?
And also,
Trying to remember
would I?
this.
I mean, would I know not to do that since that took me to half health? Like it fucking hurt.
It's different than the first thing, but you get the feeling.
If it's different, then never mind.
It's different, but as you look into this creature's eyes, like going up towards it, you can feel just looking at this creature, your eyes are drawn to its, and you start to kind of drift into the black voids that are its eyes, and you're able to shake it off. But like even anytime you glance at this creature, you feel this like draw to its eyes and start to kind of lose touch with what's happening around, but you were able to shake it off.
Okay.
Kaya, as you move towards this creature, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. The same thing happens to you. You look at this creature moving up to it, and you start to be drawn into this gaze.
Oh no, it's an 11.
11. So that is a failure. You take 16 points of psychic damage.
What?
And you...
Be at 45.
Actually, that's it. You take 16 points of psychic damage.
Do you have temp-
What's this?
Don't you have temporary hit points?
Yeah, you had
I
18.
do.
You need to subtract those ones first. So just add 8 more.
Okay. It is still your turn. You can
53. And then get rid of those.
do whatever you want.
Are you those monsters or?
Okay, I'm
This
gonna.
girl of puppers.
I'm going to attack him
Okay.
with my fists.
Okay.
But which fist?
Oh, that's good. 24.
That hits.
Yeah. And
Do your fists do magical damage
they
right now?
do.
Okay, I thought so.
They always
Is that
do
level
now.
6?
6. I was gonna say I couldn't remember if it was 6 or 8.
Oh,
But I
fuck
guess
that.
you guys are level 8 now, so
Okay,
I
that's
forgot.
good. So that's 8 points of bludgeoning hitting damage.
All right. So you feel your gaze start to drift into this creature, and as your eyes lock into it, you feel this pulse and headache in your head, and there's a surge, and you find yourself shaking your head off and looking back at him, and you're like, "Fuck you!" and punch it in the face. 8 damage, you said.
Yep.
Okay.
Stunning strike.
All right. What's the save again?
A Constitution save of 14.
That is a 13.
Hell yeah!
Okay, so it is stunned until the start.
Yes, bitch!
He's stunned.
He stunned me. He's not dead. He's stunned.
Then I will
King of
attack
the North.
again.
Now he's dead.
With advantage now.
Yep.
Wow, those both are shit. 18.
18 sucks. Oh, Lord.
An 18 hits.
18 hits?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. That's cocked. Wow, that's worse. 4 points of damage.
4 points of damage.
Yep.
So you can see your first strike hits it in the face, and you can see it's like its jaw clicks, like the gaping mouth kind of like curves to the side a little bit, and you can see its form lock up, and you follow through and hit it, but it almost looks like all of its muscles flexed, and you're stunned, and it just kind of hits its dead 6-pack.
Okay, cool.
It's like, how do I
Guy's
describe this?
fucking ripped.
I'll spend another key point
'Kay.
for Flurry of Blows.
I didn't know that they had a
Flurry of
gym in
blows.
the afterlife.
Try.
It is not from the afterlife.
You gotta work out
It's from the
when
abyss.
you're
else are
about
you
to
gonna do?
invade the
Artanus
material
did
plane.
say
Yeah.
that the portal went to the abyss.
Yeah, dead people go to the abyss, right?
No.
Their souls go.
That's science.
Make a religion check.
Guidance.
Oh. Oh, hey, that's actually pretty good. 19.
19. You would know that most souls, when they pass, go to the Shadowfell. Some that were evil, a lot of them go to like the 9 hells if they were evil. The abyss is reserved for like people who are pulled in there, souls that are pulled in there through deals or through like without their own will, like by the demon lords or things themselves into the actual abyss. Like
Oh.
undead creatures, or like that's where undead usually like reform is on the abyss.
Oh, okay.
Are you doing anything? Wait, you're stunning strike?
I did Flurry of Blows,
Yep.
and my
Or
first hit
Flurry
was a
Blow.
23
That
with
hits.
9 points of damage.
Nice.
And second attack with advantage. 18 again.
18 again.
Yep.
That hits.
6 points of damage.
Nice.
Down there
It is looking withered. Like it's already kind of this undead, like wispy looking creature, but as you've struck it this many times, you can see it kind of like wobbling. It's not doing very good.
Even though it's
Yeah.
That's my turn.
Okay.
That's all I can do.
All right. Tail.
Okay. I'm going to be like, oh, here you go, Artie. Then I'm going to haste both of us.
If I have a haste,
Yeah, you do.
I think I've used a haste before.
You have.
I don't have any idea what color it would be.
Green, I think.
Oh, that's poisoned and hunter's mark.
Probably blue because it's Sonic Fast.
Blue is stunned and unconscious. I don't think I have a haste. So
Well, then just put something else on there.
Yeah.
I'm going to put
Confused.
yeah.
I'm not for a little while. I'm gonna go.
Also,
The
that's
boulder is
Hey,
confused.
If anybody gets crit on, if I'm within 30 feet,
Yeah.
you can cancel it. I just want to make sure that happens because I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
also, I'm concentrating now, just so you can mark
Right.
it.
You and Artanus.
Yeah.
Artanus.
Oh, there it is. Didn't happen last session, but
yeah.
get a little alcohol in Russell. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't really care. I just knew it was gonna happen. Just why can't
We
I put
must
this fucking ring on this
Kill
character? Good lord.
Amon.
And you're concentrating.
Amon.
Then I'm going to throw my chakram at that.
At
dude.
the kind of withered skeletal
Yeah.
creature. Okay.
We Protoss.
Oh, not good. 11.
11 misses.
That's what I thought. It's a warning shot.
Okay. As you turn and look towards him and throw your chakram, and it like disappears from your hand and then appears behind him and swings over. He catches this at the last second and dodges, and it scrapes off of the side of the stone before reappearing in your hand.
Then I'm gonna yell at him, warning shot, and abyssal.
See his face just kind of harden and stare directly at you.
Do you move?
Nah.
You're just gonna stay there? Are you gonna use your? Oh wait, it was your action to cast haste,
Yeah.
and that was your hasted action. Okay. Oh shit! I didn't know I could do that. What? That's not how that was supposed to go. What? What happened? What the fuck? How did I do that? Ah! No, it's
I just need to grab water.
your turn's after this next one, for it's the creature, but somehow it threw you up above it. Like I tried to scroll and it threw your initiative up. Why is this happening to me? Hello?
Might as well just let him go first.
Nope. I guess I'm just gonna have to remember. I don't understand how that just happened. Okay, so it's that creature's turn. You see him kind of look in the direction of all of you, and as his eyes look to you, they look past you towards all of you, and his kind of gets this like fiendish grin on his face and holds out his hand, and this small bead of red light shoots out towards you all
What does that mean?
Fireball.
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 at 5th level.
Oh.
And he's going to do it right on the edge and hit all of you.
Poop.
That's not cool.
So I need everyone to make dexterity saving throws.
Evasion.
Oh, damn it. Oh, that's probably not gonna make it.
Artie has advantage on dex saving throws because we're hasted.
Okay.
I can't remember what this one. What this feature does. Hold on.
Hold on, I gotta remember how many d6 are in a 5th level fireball.
Rip. Oh, dude, this is bad.
You used evasion
Really bad
though,
for
didn't you?
me. Yeah, you have
Yeah,
evasion.
but I
it's 10.
think I probably failed it. And
Yeah,
I'm-
but even so, you still take half damage.
yeah, but Firebolt does a lot of fucking damage, and I'm already at half health.
It's okay, I'll bring you up. You're fine.
Oh, good.
There's so many 3s.
No, that's what I rolled.
It's
I was
mostly
hoping it was
3s.
ones.
What the
So
fuck?
good
is this?
average, good average. How many d6s was it?
I assume 10.
Yeah. So
That's a max of 60 damage.
so what is everyone's save?
18.
14.
Oh, sorry, 18.
Okay.
14.
16.
13.
26.
So 7 is the only one who failed. The save was 14.
Damn it!
Yeah.
So 7, you take 33 points of fire damage. The rest of you take 16. Those of you with evasion, you take none.
So you don't take any damage.
Which is
See,
cool
you're
because we were
fine.
super. I just thought 14 is never gonna make it. It would. I was like, it's got to be 15.
No, he's got kind of a low spell save. So as this bead strikes down kind of back here by where set behind 7, there's this like flame burst that spreads out and strikes all of you. Nyx and Kaya, you both kind of like avert and duck out of the way as this like wave of flame rolls over the top of you.
Some like
Matrix shit.
with fire.
Yeah.
I dodged the heat.
Poor
Science.
Seven's feathers are all singed now.
Eh.
He's a cooked
It's not like I
chicken.
was using it to fly anyway.
And-
God.
Aw.
And then he is going to
Rip, dude.
Rip.
Okay. Oh, I didn't roll Artanus' save.
I can't believe you've done this.
He saves though, probably.
How dare you?
His advantage. Oh yeah. Cool. What was his health again? I forgot.
Combat music. Combat music. Combat music. Intense. Intense music. Intensity. Intensity. Feel
All right. 7.
Oh,
I love life like I love my wife.
let's see here. Oh, well, this dude decided to run away. How rude of him. Okay, in that case.
You get the advantage on the stunned guy.
I don't know if he can move enough to be able to see that guy. Sure.
Okay.
There's a lot of people in the way, at least from my angle.
Yeah, fuck it. Okay.
You go to move, and Artanus kind of turns over his shoulder and sees you and goes, "Wait, I have something for you."
I turn.
I mean, he can't go there till his next turn, but
Oh, fair. Okay. I thought he was gonna like tell me something or throw something at me. Okay, never mind. Misunderstood him. Okay, and as soon as he says that, I'm like, well, okay then. How do I get
Just
there?
hold your action until he
I will move slightly past this rock, just so I can have vision of
that
this
guy.
dude.
Yep. He's stunned, so you get advantage on your attack.
Oh boy.
You're welcome.
Okay, first attack. Oh, that advantage doesn't matter. Unless a 12 hits.
12, I believe, misses.
Okay. Okay, and that will hit 19.
19 hits.
Why am I doing 11?
11 points of damage.
Math was really hard.
Nice. As your arrow strikes out and hits it, you can see it looks hurt. It kind of pierces the shoulder, and you can see the arrow, Kaya, up next to you. The arrow pierces out the back end, and you can see there's kind of like a very steady stream of this black, dark blood that's dripping down its side into its robes, kind of soaking this puddle. And it's just like wobbling there, standing. Is that your turn, Seb?
Yes, that's my whole turn.
Artanus' turn. He's going to still not in right, so he's not going to get an attack of opportunity. So 5, 10, 15. He's going to step up to you, 7, and hold out his bow and just say, "You might have better use of this than I do right now."
Okay.
Is
I take it.
longbow
You take it,
bow?
and he draws the two like short swords out of his back and turns towards the creature that's there. Takes one step, vanishes. You watch him appear behind the creature, and he takes a swing at it.
Oh, shit.
With advantage.
Mm-hmm. That's,
Excuse me.
It's a 20 to hit. That hits. Hold on, I gotta pull up his stats. Phew. So. Nice. Holy shit. So you see him step up behind this creature, and as it's wobbling towards you, Kaya, you kind of see the form of him come behind, and then you see his sword pierce through the chest of this creature and like bisect it almost as it splits and falls to the ground.
Oh, that noise was gross.
Thank you. And then he's gonna turn.
We love
Half of us are ready to
Take.
repeat it.
Get done. 15, 20, 25, 30. Step 2 steps there, and then again vanish and appear behind this one. I can't see that. Is he on the map still? Okay.
Nah.
And
Damn haste. It was a smart idea to haste that guy.
and he appears behind this one and goes to swing down, and you see the creature like turn over its shoulder as it hears him behind him and reach up and grab his hand as his hand stops and is held by the creature itself.
Crit fail or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's going to be his turn.
That was already his hasted action.
No, that isn't his hasted action. So he's going to take another
Yes.
swipe at the creature with his offhand.
Nice.
That one's going to hit.
Good,
Nice.
good, good,
Nice.
good, good,
It was just a diversion.
Another 12 points.
That's like
of
the
damage.
Arya. Where, like,
Um,
grabs her and then she's like,
Just drop this dagger real quick.
He does. I guess he's behind. He teleported behind it, so he didn't have to look him in the eyes. So
Nothing
he doesn't
personal,
have
kid.
to take the damage there. All right, the creature's turn. As there's this another surge. So Kaya and Artanus both take 5 points of necrotic damage. So halved for you,
nice.
Kaya.
Moved out of that. Good work, everybody.
You did.
A lot of focus, a lot of energy.
And he's going to turn around.
I don't know why you needed to turn around.
I don't know. I always do that.
Let's turn this double-sided
always do this in
figure
my head. It has to
around.
happen in my head.
Does this bother you?
Yeah.
gotta
No,
play
stop.
it.
The number has to.
The numbers, Mason. What do they mean?
Turn around.
Every now and then.
And he's going to try and use that same withering gaze that he did on Kaya. So he needs to roll a save. Natural 20, so Artanus only takes half damage.
Already my boy.
Artie.
Artie.
Artie and Barty, dude.
Yeah, we had this conversation 3 times.
Have we?
Yeah.
Well, Randall and I talked about it at breakfast this morning. And
Well,
then,
I wasn't there for that.
and then we
Come
brought
on,
it up
Danny.
again.
Why weren't you at
and
our breakfast
You
with
were
us?
definitely here for the last one. 'Cause
So
Ben
you
was talking
you
about
see the
it.
creature turn around and like let go of his hand, and as he steps back and like rights himself, there's this like surge as he stares into the creature's eyes, and there's like a and he pulls back, and you can see his veins almost flash, just like this dark color, almost bruised color for just a split second. Now it's the moth's turn.
He doesn't do anything.
he just flutters.
He just
towards the
flies
light.
around there. Yeah.
What are moths' abilities?
like
Eat
killing
curtains.
themselves quickly.
Yeah, he
Go
eats
towards
curtains.
the light.
Yeah.
Damn it! I couldn't remember if its mental ability scores are replaced by the moth, and
They
it is.
are.
So it's gonna.
You remember when Jester?
It's literally just going to fly.
It's gonna
just-
fly towards the
It's
light.
gonna fly
towards the
yeah,
light.
It's gonna fly towards the light. Which,
No.
as the moth flies down and it hits the edge of the portal, the energy that's sparking out of it, there's a and you see the form of.
Does
the
it take
creature.
damage?
Wait,
Appear
he takes
again.
damage if he tries to go back through the portal?
Yeah.
How much?
Well, the moth has 1 hit point. So
But
Well, yeah,
does
how
it
much
roll
damage
over
does it
do?
onto him?
I want to know as
can't
Ben. Okay.
I'll tell you after the session.
That's bullshit.
So you see his form again, but I mean that I believe is its action.
Yeah.
Once it wasted its turn, I believe doing that. So
Yeah,
limited
moths
action it
can't
can
move
perform.
very far.
Dropping 0 hit points and excess damage carries over to the new form. Oh well, excess damage carries over. So
Yeah,
Damn
that's
right.
I guess I will tell you.
So it's whatever he rolls.
It's
2
just,
points
it's
of
just
damage.
4d6.
That's pretty good. That could still be 20 damage.
Just
24.
half a
24
fireball.
damage. I can't do math, okay?
So
I only went to Algebra 2.
It was 14 damage.
4 times 6
It
is
takes
20.
13 damage.
Wow.
Wait, what is it immune to again? Hold on.
What's immune to rift
Portals?
damage?
It's resistant
Portal damage?
to-
I'm immune to damage.
Muted damage.
It is
We
resistant to
just
the
never kill him.
this damage.
I'm immune to.
So it takes 6
Can't
points of
even explain
damage.
What a son of a bitch.
Sorry, fam.
All right. I at least did it
do-
for 1 round.
I thought of
Turned
taking
into
that
a
mini and putting
goldfish.
it on the ground and smashing it with my foot. Just now.
Which
I just
one?
wanted to share because I think he's a dick. The moth.
He didn't even do anything
doesn't-
yet. He hasn't done anything.
It doesn't
going
say.
to.
Yeah, it doesn't say, so it's your
doesn't
call.
say that his action is wasted.
But I mean,
Because I would say that his turn, he has movement and an action, and he
But
used his
how
movement
far-
to fly towards the light.
How far
So he
can
flew
he
down
go?
My
20.
4th level spell is a
So
complete
25. So he's
waste.
5 foot of 5
that-
foot of movement, but he still has his action.
I think that's pretty bullshit. How far does a moth move? I feel like it's not that far. Like, wouldn't he have to use his action to keep moving toward, like, to dash, to dash towards the light?
Yeah, plus he was 20 feet in the air.
Yeah, he was 20 feet in the air.
Oh yeah, does he take
Moths
falling damage?
don't
Wait, is
have
the
that
rift in-
far.
Moths wouldn't have. They'd have more. It's a whole action. So moths would at the very least have 20 feet of movement. There's no creatures that have like 10 feet of movement. Like
That's pretty bullshit.
15
Doesn't like a sworm of bees have like
that
in
fast.
6 seconds, a moth could fly 20 feet.
No,
I don't
he
think
could
so.
flutter 10 feet. Okay.
Either way, it reverts to its normal form. So he still has 30 feet of movement.
Wait, is the rift
But he
actually
wasted
care.
25, so he has 5 feet of movement.
All I'm saying is
is
that
the
I've
rift
never
on the
seen
ground
a
or is it in
moth-
the air?
It's like
Go
it's
really
about right,
fast.
like in between these.
No, I was
moths.
just curious now. I honestly just didn't know.
I just wanted to argue because
I know.
I just thought it would be funny.
I had a flutter.
You
joke,
have to
so.
dash towards the light.
He is going to. The two you can see. Taylor, you're behind a wall.
I am. Wow.
Kaya's
how
kind of the only one he
convenient.
can see at the moment. So he's
Rip
going
Kaya.
to. He's holding like this kind of gnarled spear-like staff, and reaches it out towards you, Kaya, and these 2 bolts of flame shoot out towards you. That's it. So that's 25 and an 18 to hit you.
Both hit.
Okay.
Miss. I mean.
They both miss. Oh, well, never mind. Wow, that was a really low roll. That
was a
3d6.
that was a roll.
So you take
What a
5
roll.
points of fire damage for the first, and 8 points of fire damage for the second. As they both strike into you, and you can feel the singe and the hole. You can feel like the hole start to burn in your robes. And there's that leftover singe from the like cloth still burning from the strike.
I can't deflect missile.
How do you only have a
Not with fireball.
3 as
I
you
catch
out?
his fire and
Because
throw it
I
back.
suck at rolling.
Like, I have 10 more HP than you do.
Shut up. It's fine.
Shut up, it's fine.
Hey.
No, I'm sorry. Put that damage back. That's not what he was going to do. I was caught up in him turning from a moth and being angry about it. He turns to the pillar and does that attack.
Oh no, is he trying to break those down?
You watch him turn to one of the rods and start like striking into it with the flame.
No, that's not a good thing. Take the damage for the team.
No, it's not a good thing if he opens up that portal all the
No,
way.
I know. I'm just being
Mason's
selfish,
trying to
okay?
distract us from our actual mission. And we're not going to let that happen. Okay, we're going to go find Barty.
With Artie.
Yeah. With Barty.
Okay, Nimue, it's your turn.
Oh, dope. So I'm going to do Toll the Dead. I'm going to do it on the big old mouthy dude.
Big old mouthy dude next to you.
That's not next to me, but next
Close to you.
Artanus.
The one closest to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that guy, I'm gonna do Told the Dead, which is a
the Dead.
wisdom saving throw.
Yep.
I don't know, I just got this one.
And he's taking damage.
He fails.
Cool. And he's taking damage, which means that he takes 1d12 instead of 1d8. So that's... Oh, it's 2d12 because I'm over level 5. And then plus, because I'm level 8 now, I get to add my wisdom modifier to the damages of cantrips.
Hell yeah.
Which is great. So I got 7 plus 3 is 10, so 15 damage to that motherfucker.
Actually, way nice.
Cantrip.
Cantrip? Fuck.
15 damage?
Yeah.
What are you, Eldritch blasting this guy or what?
So you turn towards this creature and kind of hold out your hand, focusing, and there is this kind of loud, not loud, but kind of all-encompassing dull, like, boom, and you can see its form just.
And then the harpoon, which was like, it went through him, I'm just gonna like pull it back out. Because you know how harpoons have like
Yeah.
the spokes on them? It's
Sure.
gonna just like come back out.
Sure.
And
So it pulls out
so
of
I'm
him.
gonna roll for that. Which is a natural 19.
Nice, that hits.
And then that does 1d8. So 8 more damage.
Nice.
Dang, cleric.
Good turn. It
the
looks hurt.
damage dealer
It
now.
doesn't look, on the brink of death, but it looks like that hurt as the harpoon pulls out, and you can see another spurt of that black blood just fly out onto the sandbags.
And then I'll just move to just get more like in between everybody. Like I just want to be like in the center of everyone.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Benjamin.
DeWitt.
All right, I run up to Tail. I'm like, hey, buddy, let's get out of
hi,
here. And I
buddy.
dimension door him over here.
Nice.
Hello.
So Nimue, Kai, and Seven, you see DeWitt run up to Tail, grab him, and they disappear.
That's new.
There's like a.
Done it a few times.
Yeah.
So,
Like
and
twice.
then once I do that, I will begin to sing again. Seven Samus Demon Llama, you assuming I'm a human. What I gotta do to get it through to you? I'm superhuman, innovative, and I'm wearing leather so that anything you do below an AC 14 is coming back at you. I'm devastating more than ever, demonstrating how to give a motherfucking audience a feeling like it's levitating, never failing, and I know the haters are forever waiting for the day that they can say I died off, they be celebrating, because I know the way to get them motivated. I make elevating music. You make elevated music. I'm beginning to feel like a bard god. Bard god. All my people from the front to the back nod. Back nod. And I give Tail some magic. I give Tail
You're gonna have to do that again.
Oh my god.
That was so
Fucking rad. Oh my god.
amazing. Yeah. Holy shit.
Dude, that was really impressive.
All right.
Wanna
You're
do it
gonna
again
have to
for
do
the
it again.
audience.
Do it again.
Collect and film it.
Yeah, here we go.
How long did you practice? Wait, how long did you practice that for? How many?
2 weeks. Technically, it was more like 2 days because I only ever did it on Mondays, but it's about 2 weeks.
Wow, dude, that's fucking great.
I'll do it again.
All right.
Seven's name is Demon Llama. You assuming I'm a human. What I gotta do to get it through to you? I'm superhuman, innovative, and I'm wearing leather so that anything you do below an AC 14 is coming back at you. I'm devastating more than ever, demonstrating how to give a motherfucking audience a feeling like it's levitating, never failing, and I know the haters are forever waiting for the day that they get tired out if they be celebrating, because I know the way to get them motivated. I make elevating music. You make elevated music. I'm beginning to feel like I'm a rap god. Rap god. All my people from the front to the back. Nod, back nod. There's that.
Nice.
That is incredible.
That's
Amazing.
really impressive, actually.
Yeah.
White guy rap.
All right.
Yeah. So you get a D8, I think?
Yeah.
Of inspiration, and then I'm just gonna...
What did you even say?
I heard AC 14.
I heard all of it.
It's like
Fair
because
enough.
you're wearing,
He said that
you're
he was
wearing
making
leather with an
elevated
AC
music, and
14,
you made
so you
elevated
can't
Okay, so I
hit it.
said Seven's name is Dima Llama. You assuming I'm a human, what I gotta do to get it through to you? I'm a superhuman, innovative, and I'm wearing leather so that anything you do below an AC of 14 is coming back at you. Devastating more than ever, demonstrating how to give a motherfucking audience a feeling like it's levitating, never failing, and I know the haters are forever waiting for the day they can say I died off they be celebrating. Because I know the way to get them motivated. I make elevating music. You make elevated music.
I did hear elevator music. I did hear.
That's yeah.
Damn,
This is
dude.
fire, dude. That was
So-
fucking
that's
great.
straight.
Holy shit.
So
So
when are you
I'm
gonna
ducking
get on
down over here,
SoundCloud?
so I have full cover, I think.
Yep. You
I
do.
feel like you can do whatever you want after that. Holy shit.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
you inspire yourself?
I probably should have.
Jesus Christ.
Nyx.
Okay.
Follow that up.
Yeah, let me miss an attack roll. I'm ready. Okay. Maybe what I will do is bonus action. Wait, didn't I click my heels together? Yes, I did at the end, didn't I?
I'm pretty sure you said you clicked your heels together
Yeah,
at the end.
'cause
If not,
I
I
knew
kind
that-
of just
Was that a
assume that you
bonus
always
action?
do that.
Yeah, but I usually, when I know we're going into a fight, I try to do that beforehand.
Oh, okay.
'Cause it's good for a while.
Oh, just for the sake of, I forgot about this, and it doesn't really matter now, but DeWitt make a wisdom saving throw from the necrotic damage. that was
Oh,
dealt to you.
yeah. Okay, I'll do that. Oof, I failed.
What?
I got an 8.
For the first time. Wow, I wish I would have had to do
Oh,
that.
What's the
Wisdom.
For the first time.
I mean, you'd have to get a 15.
Oh, I didn't.
Okay. Fine, we'll play it now. It was a slow burn, but as your dimension door tail over there, you start to feel this anger build in your chest, and your gaze turns back towards the tall-mouthed creature that's over there. Okay.
Starts running over there.
I'm a rap god.
No, I'm a bard god.
Rap God. I'm gonna stab this guy.
Do it.
Do it. Nice.
Do it.
Use your anger. Do it.
There's a 26 to hit.
That hits. With what dagger?
The good one.
Yeah.
Do I get sneak attack? Because he's an ally?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or is he?
And he's turned around.
Did I 19 6 25 points damage.
25 points of damage. Holy shit. As you run up to him again and stab out with your dagger, and it pierces into its stomach, and you pull down a couple inches, kind of splitting it open, and you smell this kind of rotten corpse smell as some of the entrails start to slop out. You like my noises tonight?
Like, I want to puke.
Good. And as you pull the knife out, some of that black, like, intestinal blood sprays onto you.
Stop it. Fucking stop. You're like, how far can I take this?
Sorry.
His whole body
It is
explodes.
great.
It's all over, yeah.
But as you do, the body almost like pulls forward with the knife and wobbles back, and it is looking fucked up.
I'm going to take another swing at it with my offhand.
Okay,
I was fucked up.
That's a 15.
that just barely
9.
hits.
Plus 9.
Plus 9. I was like, 15 is its AC. Are you looking at it?
He's turned
She's
around.
She's behind her.
It is turned around. God damn it. Let's go.
Black.
Good
Look
call.
at what you see.
Wait, do I don't get my modifier to this, do I? For my offhand?
Not for the damage. For your roll, but not for damage on your
Then
offhand.
just 1 point of damage.
Ah, bummer. Halved is 1.
Wait, it has 1 point left?
No, it just your normal dagger doesn't do magical, so it like does half damage, but half of 1 is just 1 damage. So yeah,
So I do max
you do
damage.
max damage.
technically.
Yeah.
Oh,
So you kind of like recoil a little bit from the intestines splashing out, but swing straight anyways, and it's still just there's like almost like a paper cut across
Like
its
stabbing
stomach.
its butt or something.
It worked.
That would do more than 1 damage.
Stabbing in his butt would?
You'd
What if he has
think
a
so.
bony butt?
Kaya.
He does. He's undead.
There's not a lot of meat there. You're not thick.
He ain't even thick, dude.
From you, yeah, you count it.
More than like 40 feet.
She has
has
that
40
move.
feet.
45 feet of movement.
Yeah.
Do I want to do it?
Damn.
Fuck yeah, you do.
Yes, I do.
Get the fuck in there.
I'm
Punch
going-
them off.
As I'm
Punch 'em.
running, I'm going to say
He's not a moth.
and activate my snake wraps.
Oh my
The
god, do you
snakes,
speak parcel?
the wraps dance off
Is that
of your
Harry
hands.
Potter?
And
Kaya Potter.
Kaya Potter. You're a monk.
Snap.
Kaya.
I'm a snake god.
And I'm going to attack it.
I'm gonna snake a snake.
Well, that fucking misses. Next attack.
How do you know?
It's a 3
Yeah, it is an AC of 19.
plus 6, so 9.
Oof.
Fuck you. You.
Me or him?
The dice.
Him, me, or me?
Both.
That's it. 23 to hit.
That is.
Ooh, woo. You can get to me. Okay. Ooh, I get a D4.
Sorry, I can't stop saying.
Okay. Nice. 8 bludgeoning and 5 piercing damage.
Well, it's all
Nice.
magical, right?
And
Anytime she hits with her
yes.
fist, it's magical.
Yeah, her fists are magical.
And her wraps are magical, so.
And
Magical fist.
We'll try a,
Magical
a stunning
sorry.
strike here.
Okay, wisdom save, right?
Constitution.
Or Constitution, that's a success.
14.
Natural 17.
No, poop. That's my turn. That's all I can do.
All right, so you strike into him twice, and the second one you can hear like, or I guess the first one, yeah, the first one missed. The second one you can hear like a crack in the ribs as it and turns and looks at you, and you wait for his muscles to freeze up, and they don't.
Okay,
Is that your turn?
that's my turn.
Broken ribs do
Tail.
like hurt a lot though. So like, that
Okie
should.
So
It hurt.
I'm gonna chromatic orb and twin spell it against those 2 jerk faces.
Okay.
Okay, against the big bad evil dude, or the main dude that's breaking pillars, it is a 26.
That hits.
Against the other dude, it's a 20.
That also hits.
Yay!
Nice.
Oof. Against the big
What is your orb element?
lightning.
Okay.
Against
Nice,
the big dude,
nice.
it's a 10. Then the other dude that's hiding, it's 11. Then I'm gonna bonus action and use my Warcaster Surge.
You can see as you kind of look to both of them and stretch both of your hands out, and these orbs just shoot out, crackling. As it hits the dude breaking the pillars, it doesn't seem to have as much of an effect.
Oh, that's not cool. Well, I'm gonna run up to him and attack him with my chakram.
Okay.
Ooh.
Use your D8, dude.
Good thing that wasn't
Like that.
Not like that.
Okay, 22.
22 hits.
Yes. Okay. That's
Yeah, so.
roll damage. Oof.
Oh no.
So, math. That's still 10 points of damage from my chakram.
From the chakram, and then the
The
electricity that's
electricity.
around it.
9.
9, so halved. Still 14 points of damage. As you hop over the barrel and kind of run forward and do like a little bit of a spin and then strike down, like lightning streaking from the back of your chakram as it carves into him.
Cool. Then I'm gonna use my hasted action and attack him again, because he's a jerk face.
Wait, you got to cast a spell and do a
He did his
melee
war
attack?
cast.
I did my
Warcaster surge.
Warcasting
Okay.
surge to attack as the bonus action.
Yep.
Bop. 19.
19 just barely hits.
I'm
Oh, wait,
so-
natural, right? Or total? Well, I mean, either way, 19 just barely hits.
I'm so good.
Got to pee so bad, but I don't want to step away.
That is 12 damage.
Nice.
Then I'm
It's a
going.
good chunk of damage, and he's looking pretty hurt, kind of.
I'm going to say to him in Abysso, "Stop attacking Column, you coward, and come at me, bro."
He looks back to you and says, "My master will be here either way. There are other ways in than this."
I'm gonna pretend I don't speak Abyssal and I don't listen to him.
Oh, he says that in common.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna pretend I don't speak common.
I can speak Abyssal. I can't understand
What are
it.
you saying?
I got Black Google Translate. Hold on. Okay, is that your turn?
Rocket Z Deutsch.
Is that your turn? Fucking 3 attacks.
Yeah, that's my turn.
Is that gnomish? I'm offended.
You should be.
All right. It's this guy's turn.
I would think if anything was similar to like German, it would be like Dwarvish. Like Dwarvish would be
Yeah.
like the equivalent
yeah.
of German.
Probably.
Absolutely.
And elves would speak like French or some shit.
No, they speak British.
Yeah.
You know that language, British?
It's different than American English, so I'm just gonna call it British for now.
Yeah.
I don't speak English. I speak American.
Fucking American, dude.
That guy on the end is going to again reach his hand out, and a bead of red light shoots out.
He shoots his boss.
So DeWitt, Kaya, and Tail, I need dexterity saving
Counterspell.
throws.
I can't do that yet.
I was
but
like,
wish.
can you?
What
Oh,
level
that
is
would've been cool.
Counterspell?
Oh, I save.
Hell yeah!
Ben, what level is Counterspell?
I can't. I can get it right now, but I'm not a wizard.
Oh,
But I can get it when I turn, I think, level 10 or something.
Because you can pick a
Because I
wizard
can pick a
spell.
wizard spell, yeah.
Makes sense.
Which I'm totally gonna fucking do.
Yeah, that's obviously like the most clutch spell in the game.
Why would you not grab that?
Yeah, exactly.
Can I dispel
I think
magic?
technically I can
in
grab
midair?
it, but I didn't.
Like in the middle.
I
of
definitely
everything
can't.
all the time. Like I don't know. It's definitely like more clutch than dispel magic.
No.
Although I can take dispel magic. Although
So
not
what?
today.
23.
23.
Sorry,
19.
22. I can't count.
26 again.
Okay. So a success. So instead of 40 points of fire damage, you take 20 points of fire damage. You take none. As the fireball detonates, you see this column shatter.
No.
No.
The metal rod like tips and crashes to the floor, and you can see the rift itself like crackle and start to expand and grow in size.
Oh no.
Kai and Tail make perception checks.
What about DeWitt?
You're not close enough.
I'm close enough.
8.
If you say it, it makes it true. This is
Yeah.
D&D.
Yeah. The fantasy world.
16.
16. As this fireball hits and you hear the crackling of the portal open, you turn and look towards the portal, and you see, looking through the portal itself, this almost like floating skull that has like a spectral body in it, and the skull itself has these like massive emerald eyes. And as the teeth kind of chatter together, you can see that the teeth are all diamonds as it's looking through the portal.
I need those.
Right fucking next
Pull the
to
skull
it.
through
Oh
the
my
portal
God.
so we can collect its teeth and eyes.
Okay.
7.
Ooh, perfect. Okay, I'm just gonna move slightly so I can hurt this dude first.
Okay.
All right, so my first attack, I'm gonna hit the dude that Nyx is behind.
All right.
Is that longbow magical?
Oh yeah, can I get the
So-
stats for the other
Yeah,
bow?
so you don't get, so you're not attuned to it. You don't get like the full
Yeah.
stats to it, but it does the normal longbow damage, so a D8, and then 2d6 acid damage on top of that.
Ikuze.
You're the only one here can actually speak
As you kind of weigh
Japanese,
the bow
so
in
I
your
actually
hands.
said something relevant to that.
Yeah, help out.
So you said 2d6 acid?
Acid.
Okay.
So
go. Is it good?
you kind of weigh the bow in your hands, and it's got like a lighter feel. Even though it's longer than your schlong bow, it's almost as light, if not lighter, and more versatile. And you pull an arrow and draw it back, and you can watch the tendrils of that like acid curve from the string itself onto the arrow as you loose it.
Ooh, I like this. Okay. I will hit it with that.
7 likey.
That's cocked. Oh, that's one better. 15.
A
Does that hit?
15 just barely hits.
Perfect. Oh yeah, and then d6s.
Rolling.
16 damage.
Nice.
Roll
That
for
as
the
your arrow
damage.
strikes, it passes through what appears to be the void of the mouth. Like it goes in and you watch it disappear. Next to it, you watch the arrow disappear, and for a second it doesn't emerge from the back of the head. 3 seconds pass, and then and it emerges from the back of the head with a spray of acid and blood as the creature kind of wobbles forward and looks like it's going to topple down onto you and then wobbles to backwards. And Artanus just kind of takes a sword and like stabs it and directs it as it falls to the ground.
Perfect.
I'm asleep.
Only dreams now. And then I turn to the other dude
Uh-huh.
for my second attack
Okay.
with the same bow. You want me to differentiate the poison damage from the regular one for this one?
Nope. There's a reason why he put acid on that.
Oh, okay. 24.
24 hits.
Oh. Okay. 12 damage. 12 piercing damage, and then let's do poison. 7 poison or acid. Whatever.
He is
47.
looking fucked as this arrow pierces into the back of him next to you, Kaya and Tail, as he's looking very like pleased with himself as this pillar has just been destroyed and you guys have been burnt in front of him. There's like as he looks and you can see the arrow strike him in the back and this splash of acid kind of roll over his shoulders and start to sizzle the like thick leather armor that he's wearing, and he doesn't look as pleased anymore.
Perfect. And then for my bonus action, I'm gonna use dash with my fleet of foot. So,
Okay.
and I'm gonna hide behind this rock.
All right.
Sandbags.
I
No, it's a
am
rock.
going to run to the restroom really quick, so do something entertaining.
Be entertaining. You know when somebody says be entertaining and then you just like can't think of anything.
I have an
entertaining?
idea.
Oh.
This podcast is brought to you by people who aren't run by billionaires. So if you like podcasts that aren't run by billionaires, make sure you listen to this
This
one.
podcast is not sponsored by capitalism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
Best type of podcast.
Yeah, exactly. We're all just a bunch of people who don't make a lot of money, and we just get together and we do dumb shit. Please listen to us.
And then we play D&D.
Impossible.
Pum, pum, ba-da, ba-da. Oh wait.
Anytime goes, it's okay.
I'm kind of drunk.
Maybe you should slow down on the wine there, buddy.
drunk.
Oh boy.
Classic bard.
I was a little drinky when I got here.
Can
Yeah,
I
I
see
bet.
the lyrics to that? See if I can do it.
Sure.
I can't.
Veracity or challenge?
Yeah, challenge. Okay, we play it in real life
Right
now.
in the middle of combat, Dix is like, "Hey, can I see that?"
Veracity or challenge. I cannot.
It's on the left,
Okay, I
and
won't
then-
read the other page.
I already sang that song.
How does
so.
it go?
Seven's name is Demon Llama. You assuming I'm a human. What I gotta do to get it through? I'm superhuman, innovative, and I'm wearing leather so that anything you do below an AC 14 is coming back at you. I'm devastating more than ever demonstrating
He's
how
not
to give a
looking at
motherfucking audience a feeling like it's never. I forgot how it goes. A feeling like it's levitating.
Elevator music.
Go to the next page.
Yeah.
Okay. Seven's name is Dima. Wait, Seven's name is Dima.
Llama.
Oh.
Because, what's his face?
Eminem.
Eminem, yeah. He says,
Oh, cool, I don't-
Sumalama Dumalama.
Yeah.
I don't have to do it now.
Yeah.
Perfect timing, Mason.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Oh, are you supposed to wrap it? I gotta leave really quick.
Yeah.
The only downfall to drinking beer during a session.
There's a downfall?
Yeah, you have to pee.
Oh.
Unleash the gates.
Or do you?
Release the river!
All right,
Treebeard?
it's Artanus' turn.
When did he get here?
Diapers for
Nyx,
D&D.
as you hear and kind of glance over and can see the fireball erupt and this pillar kind of shatter and topple over, you look at Artanus and there's like a look of worry on his face as he looks to you and then looks in that direction and starts to make his way over there.
We're working on an Artanus, okay? Damn, he's got a 50. Oh,
Tasted.
Haste,
Yeah,
okay.
boy.
That makes more sense.
Kai, are you using your fists right now or what? A weapon?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
using my fists and my snakes. My snake of snakes.
Oh,
Is that a,
snake
it's not a weapon. It's a magical weird thing. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Huh?
Thanks.
Hey.
I still haven't finished this dude off.
I treat dogs like
I
how I
know.
treat how like most people treat.
Keeps
like,
throwing
little
fireballs,
Kids, and
we
then
gotta-
I'm around the little kid, and
Wow.
I'm like,
Gotta quit that shit.
"Oh, what's
This
you
dude is
now,
just-
dude?" Like, how to interact. Should just start treating them like dogs.
You heard it here, folks.
Yeah.
So he looked to this creature and like focuses and is gonna take his swings with his two short swords. That's a natural 20.
Nice.
Nice.
Fuck you, Amon.
It doubles all the damage, and he has an ability that gives him 2d8 force damage on top of his.
Holy shit! And you can't be resistant to force damage
Right.
unless you're a mystic. which I
Exactly.
don't know. Yeah.
Well, that was interesting. It bounced on top of the dice and sat crooked on top of one of the other dice.
Don't you re-roll 2s and 1s?
Yep. Oh shit! Hell yeah. So 8,
genius.
16. So that's 32
you're a bar
plus
guy.
7, 39 points of piercing damage
39?
for his crit.
It would have been cool if it was 16.
He steps up to this creature and looks at it and takes his sword and like goes to swing and disappears and ends up behind it. And the sword, Kaya and Tail, you watch the sword pierce through its chest, through the thick armor as the creature, and he lifts it up a little bit, pulls the sword out, and the creature falls to the ground.
Damn, he's so cool.
Fuck you, bish.
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster.
A real gangster.
Behind it. That's kind of behind it. That's behind it.
A real gangster ass. Song, but it's hard to sing when you're white.
He does this and kind of turns towards the other creature that's over there and takes his last 5 feet of movement to move towards it. And that's his turn because he gave you his bow, so he has no ranged attacks.
He can throw his daggers.
On the initiative count 20, the portal starts to crackle again.
Oh no, I'm right there.
2 more withered figures
Joking.
step out.
Oh no, they take out a column.
They break down all the columns.
Wait,
Step out
2 more of those like big.
They
mouthed-
look
Oh,
similar
fuck.
to the one that's kind of robed and withered. Less so. They're armored and holding swords. Oops.
Bum 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 bum.
They just move out. They don't go yet.
Oh, thank God.
Nimue,
You okay?
it's your turn.
Yeah.
Nimue.
Oh shit! It's my turn. Okay. Well, great. Perfect. Awesome. Is there any way that I can move to be able to see the guy that's like with the green on him with the flare?
He's got like 3/4 cover now.
Can I
from the
like
wall.
move up?
Because
Excuse me.
I put her down.
Where are you going?
Can I just like move like closer and get any vision on him?
You can see his head above, but he still has 3/4 cover.
Well, okay. I'm gonna toll the dead that guy.
Okay.
So
What's
he
the
rolls
save
a
again?
Wisdom saving throw, and I don't think that cover affects that, right?
Nope.
Oh, okay, cool. But that works just fine.
That is a 12.
Okay, that fails. So he takes 2d12 plus 5 damage. Ugh, terrible rolls. 9 damage from that.
9.
Yeah.
Pull the dead.
Nice. Again, there's this dull like boom, and you can see him just reach up to his head.
And then I'll move my spiritual weapon closer to me. Wait,
You
does that
can
take
go-
does that take a bonus action to do that?
Yeah, to move it.
I don't know if I have another bonus action.
I don't remember how far it can move. I think it's like 20 feet.
It is 20.
Yeah, it's 20. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we'll just move closer to me. Cool.
Okay.
Is there any way
Next,
that I
the
could
special
go around the other
like
side?
rod
of the
just
rock?
pulls out of the body of the other one and floats away from you.
Wait, can I go around the other side of the rock so it gets more to like the center of the map? Yeah. Okay, that works.
Yeah.
That's my turn.
Okay. DeWitt.
Okay, I'm going to cast Major
I need
Image.
to make a wisdom saving throw from him doing damage to you
Oh,
because
shit.
that creature died.
Wait, do it. You should be having advantage on these because you have Beacon of Hope.
Oh, cool.
Sorry, I forgot last
I
time.
mean,
It
it,
only
didn't,
happened
it didn't
the
do
one
anything
time.
anyway.
Yeah.
It didn't matter.
215s.
God damn it.
So,
The one time he fails, and it doesn't do shit.
So perfect.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Okay.
I will cast Major Image. And what I will do with it.
Is it another 20-foot tall Nyx that walks in? going,
No,
What's
no,
up?
no.
What's up, little bitches? I listened
Nah.
to that the other day when I was editing, and I was like, oh my god, I forgot about this.
Just
No,
as the
what I'm
column
gonna do
dies.
is I'm gonna make it look like this column reappears.
I knew it. I called it.
And so it's gonna like make it look like the portal shrinks down to these guys. Can I
Very
do
nice.
that?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Cool. And then as my bonus action, I will use Healing Word on Kaya. So you get 8 points
Yeah.
of healing.
Max.
Thank you.
Yep. And then I'm gonna move back. I'm gonna move right here
Okay.
and duck behind and like lower behind whatever the fuck that purple thing is.
Okay.
Stone wall.
So no one can see me anyway, right?
You have 3/4 cover.
Oh, okay, cool. What can I like get on the
See your
ground?
head. Yeah, you can crouch down.
Yeah,
sure.
I'll crouch down to get full cover,
All right.
and then that's my turn.
Pulling a Haskier.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Classic bard.
It's their turn now. These new boys. One's gonna attack.
Do
Tail.
they
gonna
think
miss.
the column's back up?
Actually, so this one, you can see this one kind of looks towards the column, shocked, but I mean, there's two enemies in front of him, so he looks at it with worry and then goes to attack Tail. That one does not seem to believe you.
Word.
Tail. Boop.
It misses.
Oh wait, what the fuck? Why? Oh, okay. It said number 3, and I was like, I only put 2 of them on there. What? And it just gave them numbers 2 and 3 instead of 1 and 2. Don't know why. He's going to kind of swing out at you. Actually, no. He's going to cast Burning Hands, and that's going to hit you and Artanus.
That's
so,
not cool.
Deck save.
yep.
Advantage.
Yep. Crit 23.
Nice.
Nice.
But I still take damage because it's dumb.
Dumb. It's 3d6, but he casts it at 5th level.
That's
Oh boy.
Don't
So
worry,
that's
he's
a
gonna roll
d6
all
above,
ones.
so that's 46, 56, 66, 76.
It's like a fireball.
Yeah, so he reaches out his hands and this like cone of flame
Fire
just
hands.
shoots out. I need to roll Artanus' save, but I'm gonna roll this damage first. So 12.
Wait, who else did he shoot it at?
Just Artanus and
Artanus.
So
Tail.
25, so you take 12 points of fire damage.
Okie dokes.
Artanus has advantage. Ooh, that's a good thing. And I think he fails, actually.
Rip.
No, he has a plus 10 to his dex save. So a 9 turns into a 19.
Jesus.
So 20. Wait. What did I say? I said 24, so it'd be 12 points. Boop, boop. Of fire damage.
Well, I wish I was Artanus.
He's a lot higher level than you guys.
Like level 9 or something.
Like level 16.
Of how long it takes us to level? Yeah.
It doesn't even take us that long.
I know.
Sometimes Mason just gives it to us because we persuade him.
Our persuasion's pretty high.
Yeah.
We have got high charisma.
All right. So that one's going to do that. Kaya, the one attacking you, it's going to do things.
It's gonna fail.
He's going to claw you.
What does he do? Will you? Yeah.
He claws you. Or wait.
Or wait.
No, he's going to cast blindness and deafness on you.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
No.
That's exactly what he does.
No.
So I need you to roll. So they don't have this. That's weird. Hello?
Hello.
What the It broke.
It will never break. It broke.
La la la, excuse me for a moment.
Aladdin? Oh, yeah.
Constitution saving throw, please.
I got this. Whoa. Oh, that's a 16.
That succeeds.
Nice.
Wow.
You're only half blind and half deaf. One eye doesn't work and one ear doesn't
So
work.
you see,
they're
you start to
opposite.
see your eyes go black for a moment, and then it dissipates, unaffected. And the creature just like frustrated.
Come on.
Little
All
bitch.
right, a little bit.
Deaf in the left ear,
Um,
blind in the right eye.
Nix.
Yay!
whole
This
world
is
would be
the bad
lopsided.
guy, right?
Yep.
I'm going to move.
We had a teacher like
Well, at
that
least
in high
it's not
school.
the same because then you
We were
would
really
always
mean to
just be,
her.
like totally.
And I'm going to stab him.
Good.
Stab. It worked.
Same type attack bonus?
That's a 23.
That is.
I should do that more often.
You just,
Yeah, you should just say
all the
stab
time.
or shoot.
I'm gonna shoot him with my arrow. Stab.
Because he didn't say stab.
Say stab.
See, look.
Oh, rip.
Don't stab. Fuck stabbing. That's pretty bad. 6, 12. Shit. 13 plus. So 19 points.
19 points of piercing damage. You run up to the back of it and stab into the back of it. It's like it's got a little bit thinner leather armor than the bigger dude over here, but it stabs through and you can hear it like, "Ah!" and it looks fucking hurt.
Damn, Danny, you've done like over 60 damage to this combat
This
phase.
is
That's
like
like the
what I
most
thought
damage you've
I-
ever done.
Anything,
I know.
anything else for your turn?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna stab with my offhand.
Okay.
Seriously, one of your best combats.
Oof.
Yeah, it is.
Oof.
It misses. Actually, it's a 12.
That hits just barely. Holy shit. Yeah, his AC is a 12.
So anyway, I
Like,
just
wait,
kept.
maybe I have a plus 9.
Anyway, I just kept stabbing.
I just kept.
Just get stabbing.
That's 2 points.
Nice.
So
Halved.
1 point.
Halved is 1 point of damage. That's all right.
Wait, are you
That's
adding your
stabbing.
dexterity modifier to that?
Not on the
I
Not to your
do that for
offhand.
offhand weapons.
Oh, that
Not unless she takes the feat that's
Dual wielder.
Dual wielder, yeah.
that is a pretty cool feat.
It is a
You
good
should maybe
feat.
Take that. Somewhere. Beginning you can.
Yeah, when you hit a. Oh, wait, that was just this level. So now
12.
you've got to
Wait,
wait
I
another
thought that was
4.
a fighting style, not the feat. The feat was that you can
No,
hold.
dual wielder is that you can do both
Yeah.
of your like you can use
The
both.
feat gives you,
and it gives you
that
a plus 1
and
to
something
AC
else.
too.
Defeat.
It gives you plus to AC. It gives you the ability to add your dex mod. And
Yeah.
all right, anything else for your turn, Nyx?
That's it.
Okay,
Yeah, your
Kaya.
damage modifiers your dex
Oh,
plus
me?
if you have your dagger. Like if your dagger is like a +1.
Okay.
then that's what
I'm going to turn around.
And look at what
Look
you
at what you
Look
see.
at what I see.
You see a little bitch who tried to blind you.
This bitch tried to blind you. Are you gonna just let that happen, Kaya?
Yes.
No.
She just closed her eyes.
You can't blind me if I close my eyes.
Close her ears. I'm deaf too now.
I shall punch him. I shall punch. Nope, that misses. Punch again.
Well, he has an AC of 12.
Did you get a 12?
No, I got an 8.
Oh.
And this one's a 13.
That one hits.
A 13 hits, yeah.
Bigger than 12.
Really?
Come here.
I don't know. That's what they tell me.
That's higher than 12.
Whoa.
What math
I did the
class
math.
you
That's
take?
just
So 6 bludgeoning and 2 piercing.
Nice. He's looking real hurt as you kind of come uppercut and you can hear a crunch into the stomach and the bottom ribs snap underneath your pressure.
Flurry of blows.
That's what the punches sound like.
Oh, that's good.
That's actually what demon ribs sound like when they break.
Oh.
That's a 24 to hit.
Hits?
Nice. 8 points of bludgeoning, 4 piercing.
So you come up again and the crunch, you hit the same spot and there's that and the ribs cave and your fist almost like goes a couple inches, not through its flesh, but into its chest cavity. And as you pull your fist back, there's one last of air as the creature falls over.
There's one last scrap-up-up-up.
Then I'll turn to the one next to me and use my last hit on him.
I wish they had undead fortitude.
Yeah, I do like 5 flips. And then.
And then
Make an acrobatics check. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay, really?
No, dude. If you want to fuck up, this is bad.
That's
Go
how
for
you
it.
fuck up.
Really?
5 acrobatics.
I need 5 acrobatics for
Yeah,
each
that's a
flip.
23 for acrobatics.
I do a
Yeah,
backflip
you do
into a
5
gear, into a
flips.
back handspring, into
Yeah.
another back
Sweet.
handspring, into a front cartwheel.
You balance
Okay.
on his sword and then backflip off of it, kicking him in the face.
Parkour.
That one's a 17 to hit.
That hits, and your foot hits him in the face.
Yes, I want to do a roundhouse kick to his
Okay.
face.
Okay, you do that.
Roadhouse.
So 5
your magical feet.
piercing and 5 bludgeoning.
Damn, Kaya, you are dealing damage today. As your foot connects with his chin and it like turns his head, and you can see him like shrug that off and crack his neck as his neck turns back around towards you.
I act like I'm doing patient defense.
Okay.
I have
I
the
can't do
axe
it
because I
and
can't
feet.
use
You
it.
ready yourself in a defensive stance, but not like it's more offensive in nature. Like you're ready to attack, but it looks like you're on the defensive.
That's my turn.
Sure. Tail.
Okay, I ignore the guy next to me and I just start throwing my chakram at that far dude.
Okay. Chakrams.
That is a 23.
Oh, there's the
23.
diamond tooth guy.
And the other
everyone.
one is a 19. Sorry, I just rolled for my 2 attacks.
He's not
That's
through
okay,
the
both
portal
hit.
yet. We
Cool.
can't do anything about it yet.
All right. First
He
one.
came through the portal?
Back in portal. It was like a.
Well, he wasn't through the portal yet. He's just in the portal still, right?
What
11
is?
damage for my first attack.
The toothy guy, the diamond tooth guy. He's
Yeah.
still in the portal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, 11 damage for my first attack, then 7 for my next.
Nice.
You don't do any like lightning or anything?
Not if I don't cast a spell before.
So, Tail throws his chakram out, and it like the dude kind of readies himself, waiting for it to come in the front of him, and it disappears. And he kind of gives a look of confusion as it appears from the side and cuts across his chest. And he looks down as it disappears from the ground and comes back to your hand. And you throw it again, and he looks up to the same side that it came from, and it comes from the other side and cuts across his chest, almost making like an X into his armor. And he and just
X
looks at
marks
you,
the spot.
pissed off.
Stop throwing fire.
Yo, Danny. Can I get a...
Is that your turn?
Yeah, that is my turn.
Wait, which dude did you hit again?
Okay.
This dude,
That
right?
dude.
Yep. So it's his turn. he's gonna do that.
Randall, I swear to God.
Both hit.
Mason, I swear to
So he looks out and kind of reaches out towards you, Tail, and then turns his hands towards this pillar. And you see two bolts of like dark energy shoot out towards it.
Did you not see this pillar come back up?
Actually, he did. He did miss that one, but hold on. He's trying to. Well, nope. He failed his intelligence check. He's gonna go for that, so he shoots at that one.
Yeah.
So he turns past you and shoots at the other pillar, and it streaks past. And now he kind of looks at it and just knows that it's an illusion. But his whole fucking turn is wasted.
That's right, you little bitch. Little bitch.
Damn.
Little baby bitch.
You little baby back
Damn.
bitch.
Baby back
Screwing up my
Baba and
plans here.
Baha.
All right, 7.
Okay. I'm gonna
I
move.
didn't know how combat was gonna go with just 6 of you, and you guys are clever. Clever girl.
All right, I'm gonna shoot this dude.
Okay.
Come on.
I want to shoot
What's
this
this?
guy. All right.
Need something?
Need something.
Must
Shoot
be the
him once,
win.
yeah.
Need something.
There's someone there.
Must be the
Must be
win.
the win.
There's 7 of us.
Just goes along his day.
Just imagining Skyrim together, like fucking doing that shit. There's like 5 people in the room, and he's like, "Must be the win."
Everyone's got 100 in sneak.
I should do that.
Yeah,
anyway.
we should.
27 for the attack.
Jesus, yeah, that hits. Holy fuck.
Nice.
Why did I let Artanus give me the good bow?
19, baby.
Oh, wait, no, you wouldn't get that. Well, actually, that's not how magic weapons work. You'd be getting a +2 bonus from the bow. It's a +2 longbow.
Oh,
With your
then I would
damage,
get 26.
Yeah, and your damage.
Oh,
Fucking lied to
yay.
myself.
Wow.
Don't you get the?
So that's 15 regular damage.
I took the other pack because I was like, yeah, I want these.
But
15
it's
regular
but
damage?
it's a magical bow.
Well, it's magic, isn't
And
it?
then
Yeah.
10 acid
Oh
damage.
my fuck. Okay.
yeah.
That was just your first attack.
Yes, so that I still have one more. Is he dead?
No.
Okay.
Was that with your Slayer's Prey damage?
So he-
too?
No. I forgot he's the one that had Slayer's Spray. Hold on.
It's right there, right in front of your fucking
Mouse cock.
face.
I know, I forgot. I've been busy attacking everybody else. All right, then +5 more piercing.
So 30 damage.
Oh,
one
man.
From the first strike.
From one arrow.
I like this
That was
bow.
more than half of his remaining health.
It's not even a crit.
So as he
Crap.
reaches out and shoots these 2 bolts and kind of curses, you see his face kind of curl up in pain, not for the hunter's prey, but
Oh, yeah.
yeah. And as the arrow pierces his side and the acid kind of wraps around his armor of the chest, and you can see the steam as it starts to burn through. And he turns and looks in your direction.
Does 14 hit?
A 14 misses,
Oh,
unfortunately.
that's okay. Then. Oh wait, I still have dash.
Yes, you do.
Okay, I'm gonna dash away. Back to where I came
Dash
from.
away, dash away,
Woohoo!
dash away all.
All right, that's it.
Okay. Artanus.
Tennis.
I like this dashing business. And just
Yeah, it's pretty
I don't know why I still
Poke
have
out,
to turn them.
shoot, go back.
I have to see
Because
him
it's
looking
fun.
at the creature.
It's
Okay.
fun to play.
So he's going to try and swing at this boy. Natural 19.
Misses.
That's a miss. Damn.
Fucking noob didn't crit.
I think he can only use that force damage ability.
Crits
once a
only,
day.
baby.
I have to look.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't play this game.
You can only hit by crits.
Yeah, I just
no.
fucking quit.
He is going to
The
transfer
Dark
that
Souls of D&D.
force damage onto that little bitch.
That would be a pretty hard like
Oof.
fight encounter.
It's okay.
Where the only thing that hits are just
5.
crits.
13 points of damage as
Number is
he
in your name.
Artanus turns around, having heard this creature behind, and swings out, and it slashes across its chest. He does 13 points of damage to it. And then he's going to take his second attack. Oof. That's that's a 7 plus 12. So yeah, that still hits. That's a 19. 8, 9.
This
and
music
then
sounds like Kingdom Hearts fight music.
It
20
does.
points. So he has this like really stressed, strained, frustrated look, and the first attack hits, and the second one he swipes up, and it clean cuts off the head of this creature.
Hell
I've gotten
yeah.
3 of the kills tonight, apparently, so that feels good because I don't usually get to do that.
Fighting yourself.
I'm fighting myself. I don't even need you guys. Just go home.
I can play this game all by myself.
And so as he does this, initiative count 20, the portal starts to crackle. As you can see the skull trying to push through, you can almost see the lightning straining and the portal stretching. And it shoots it back, and you can see Kaya and Tail and Artanus can see the skull kind of like ricochet back into the portal and kind of like clack the diamond teeth as it's trying and like goes to push through again. Didn't get through this round though.
God.
Nimue.
So there's still that guy.
There's still that one left.
I'm going to totally dead again. Wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Fail.
Hell yeah,
Jesus.
this guy's fucking bad at those.
Yeah, he
That's
is.
nice.
Good lord.
19. Damage.
19 points of
I rolled
damage.
2 7s plus 5, bitch.
So as he takes this arrow from you, Seven, kind of looking in your direction, there's another dull toll, and he like reaches up, and you can see blood just trickling from his ears and his nose as he wobbles and kind of strains to stand up. He is looking wrecked. Anything else, Nimue?
I'm going to healing word tail, so
Okay.
you get an automatic 9
Wow.
points. And that was just the first level
Thanks,
one,
friend.
obviously. And that is my turn.
Okay. DeWitt.
All right, I'm gonna run back up here.
Okay.
Look at this guy, and then I'm gonna say to him, "You fell for my pillar trick," and cast vicious mockery on him. And make
You've activated my trap
another
card.
wisdom saving throw.
That's a fail.
Hell yeah! So he takes.
You've activated my trap card.
He's like, bong, idiot.
8
bong,
psychic
you
damage.
suck."
And he has disadvantage on his next attack.
DeWitt, paint me a picture.
You fell for my trap! And then he's like, "Oh man, I did." And then he just falls over.
Okay. So you say this, and he kind of looks up to you, and you see this just defeated look fall upon his face, and the spear that he's been holding and that like confident stance slumps over, and he looks like Michael Cera's character from Arrested Development when he walks really sad, and he just kind of hunches over, and you see like this like shudder as he shudders a little bit from the words, and just this stream of blood pours from all of his like his face, his eyes, his nose, his ears, and he just falls face forward in the dirt. And there's a little
okay.
puff of dust as it
Vicious mockery.
settles around him. Current combat is over.
What?
You can see the skull now, you two standing next to the portal, go to make another move at the portal. This next bit of this is going to be a skill challenge that we are going to apply a timer for each round. We're going to take our break before we do that really quick because we're almost at, time for the recording, and then we'll come back and we'll complete that. So we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Okay.
Just go for it.
Welcome
You're
back,
fine.
everybody.
You're good.
So, this next portion of this encounter is going to be a skill challenge. So, I will give you a minute to look through your stuff, kind of come up with a thought, an idea. I have a 30-second timer. When that 30-second timer is up, that will be the end of a round, and the thing within the portal will have a chance to try and escape the portal. The DC is very high because there are 3 pillars still up. you need to find a way to try and stabilize this portal. As you can see it kind of, the electricity is arcing, and as the red lightning kind of, it catches on the edge of these 3 still remaining, but when it goes that direction, it shoots out further, and the portal is almost bowing in the direction of the collapsed pillar.
Can you remind me of what the pillars look like?
They're like stone pillars, but there's like a metal apparatus, almost it looks like a giant metal claw that comes up and over it and hangs over the portal itself.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So the claw thing is pretty long, pretty big.
Yeah.
Okay. And how,
It's probably about the size of a person.
I know the rift isn't like that high off the ground, but how like could you get underneath the rift?
The bottom of the rift itself is maybe like 2 or 3 feet off the ground,
okay.
and it stretches probably like 8 feet into the up. So it's like 10 feet high from the ground up to the top of the rift.
Okay.
How high are the pillars?
The pillars are higher. So the pillars themselves, I'd say the pillars are about 10 feet high, but the claws kind of come up and angle over. So the claws are probably about like 5 feet above the top of the rift.
Okay.
So like 15 feet in height total. So this is your minute. Think on things, and I will flip the timer here in just a second, and we'll start.
Can we ask Artanus like what it is, or will that be a part of the 30 seconds?
I'll allow that kind of in the calming of things. Artanus just looks to you all and says, "We need to find a way to restabilize this portal. I've never had one of these pillars collapse on me before. If you have any ideas, I am all ears."
What are pillars made out of?
The metal is rudimentary metal, but they are enchanted with things to keep the portal stabilized itself.
Okay.
Can I tell you what I'm gonna do?
Not till I flip the timer.
Okay. Just making sure.
Is it like? Did you make these pillars?
I did not make them. My order did.
Online?
No.
That was my first thought too. Is there any way to fix that pillar?
Not that I know how. I am not skilled in crafting a pillar.
Okay.
Maybe just try to stack the rocks so it's high enough, and then we can somehow fix the metal. I don't know.
Yeah, but if it's enchanted, we can't re-enchant them.
Well, it's worth trying. It looks like the energy is fading off.
The claw itself should still be, or the rod should still be enchanted. It just needs something to stabilize it and put it in place. The pillar, and you can see like the rod is on the ground, but the column itself is shattered from the fire, from the fireball.
I know what I'm gonna do.
I have nothing.
I'll give you 30 more seconds to think about it. First timer, and then we will start.
Is that thing really 30 seconds?
It's supposed to be.
It seems like it looks like it should be longer.
Yeah, I feel like it is longer.
It looks like
Supposed to be a 30-second
minute.
timer. You're wasting time by talking about how long the timer is.
I mean, I
Do
don't.
we start our
So are we
timer?
talking right
I know
now?
what
Are
I'm
we
gonna be
telling you
doing.
what we're doing?
No,
No, this is
30
your
more
last 30 seconds
think.
to think about what you want to talk about. Then I will flip it.
Like, put the pillar back up.
I've got an idea.
We're just
We don't know yet.
Oh,
We could try.
There's a
Yeah,
lot of
man.
options here. I got a couple ideas.
Like what?
I'm gonna make a pillar out of ice and put the thing back up on it, the metal rod.
No
The
idea.
ice just not melt
I can keep it like that.
forever.
Not for it's a temporary thing, but
I
we
see
can
what you're saying.
but we can at least stop it now and have a more permanent solution afterwards. After this stretches. I don't know what I'm going to do, but that's okay. I'm going to do my best.
Just turn into a bard?
No.
Darn.
I'm gonna do.
I feel like Fez in that 70s show. You have a job, you have a girl, and I have nothing.
You have spells, you have powers, I have my fists.
Exactly.
I punched the portal.
Time is up.
Okay.
You have 30 seconds.
Okay, I'm going to open up the decanter of water and cast control water and make a pillar of ice and like have it like swirl the metal thing back up onto it to like be back in position.
Make an Arcana check.
While I do that, I'm gonna lay out Seven's feathers.
I can't make like a
and,
wisdom check because that's my spellcast.
Nope.
Damn it.
I'm
Nine.
going to get out my drum and fill some water in it and begin to pray to the lioness and also sing a song at the same time.
Okay. We'll get to your song when the timer runs out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take out the last bit of giant rib that I have. I'm gonna take out some spider webs, the spider webs that I wrapped up, and like hold it just in case the thing's gonna fall. I'm gonna take some of the column dust, the remains of the column, and kind of like spread it over to the giant ribs, and I'm gonna start chanting an abyssal.
Okay. Anybody else doing anything?
Assisting whatever or whenever I can.
Who
using
and
a
how?
Help action.
Can you help me?
Using strength or, if the water doesn't catch the rod, I can climb up walls and shit and I'll put the rod up top
That
and
would be
set it up.
extremely helpful.
I'll do
please
that. If her thing doesn't work.
Okay.
If she can make the ice pillar but can't grab the rod with it.
Okay.
That's what I'll do.
Seven and Nyx, are either of you doing anything? You're almost out of time.
I'll cast Mage Hand and see if I don't know. Whatever.
Nope.
Try and put this thing together.
Okay. So let's start
doesn't.
with Nimways. So you pull out the decanter, and the water starts to wrap around the metal rod that is in the remnants of this shattered column and starts to lift it up. You got a 9 for your Arcana check. As the water starts to freeze, it holds for a second, and it sits, and you kind of feel accomplished. And then the weight of the rod, there's like a crack that goes up the ice, and it starts to bow inwards and fall forward.
I'll run up and catch it and try and
Make a strength check.
strength.
Would Mage Hand help?
Make a
do
strength
10
chance
pounds.
check. Yeah,
Solid.
unfortunately not.
It helps a little bit.
It's
It
not that
wouldn't be
heavy.
advantage though.
Yeah.
It's a 19.
Oh shit.
Baby.
Okay.
A 19. So as it creaks and starts to, like, the ice snaps and it starts to fall forward, you catch it and start to push it up. It's not quite in place, but it hasn't fallen over. DeWitt, you lay out Seven's feathers and start to chant. What is the purpose of your song?
My purpose is to do like a performance and inspire my teammates to do their best and help work together as a team.
Okay, sing your song.
Okay. On the farm, tail works. Zenny telling him to eat with a fork. Food disappears over and over again. Another failed. Needs some work. Man, this ain't worth digging all this dirt. I got my chakra man a big backpack to find some monsters and a hamper sack. I'm gonna live on the big wide road. I'm a hero, or so I've been told. Every night be tucked in close to valley. Raise unstoppable killing machines. Man, that creature's got a nice ass spleen. Making friends whenever I seem to go on the big wide road.
Damn. I feel inspired. I don't know about you guys.
I feel very inspired.
Okay.
Can I make a performance check at least or
Okay.
something?
Make a performance check.
I'm enthralled by you. You didn't do your enthralling performance, but I'm enthralled.
What's your performance?
23.
23. I will allow you to re-roll your Arcana check as like an advantage type of thing.
You got.
I'm not good at those.
Why'd you throw it like that?
It's one better.
One better. So a 10.
Yeah.
Again, as it cracks and Kaya's holding it up, you try to shape water again. Kaya, you let go and the thing holds for a second more and it starts to creak inward. The creature again, you see this skull like fly forward into the portal itself, and it starts to pull through towards where the hole is, where the column, and again it gets shot backwards, and there's like
Don't like that.
you have 30 more seconds.
Okay, so now that I have my giant rib prepared, when I see the thing falling, I'm gonna like prop the giant rib up, then use the rest of the spider webs to like attach the metal rod to the giant rib, so that it's like supporting the ice pillar at the moment. Then I'm gonna go like these are barrels, right? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna grab some of the barrels and like put it around the giant rib to help keep the thing propped up. And I'm gonna. Do you want me to tell you what I'm saying in Abyssal?
No, we'll get to that after
Okay.
Anybody else?
How big is the portal?
The portal right now is about 8 feet, about 8 feet in length, and it's starting to bow from a foot wide to like 2 feet wide towards the edge of the broken column.
So it's like electricity that it's like producing, right?
It's mostly being picked up by the other rods. Luckily, you're not taking damage currently.
Can I cast Silent Image around the portal?
Sure. We'll get to what you're casting after the timer runs out.
I will still just help keep the rod up.
Okay.
But if anything starts to come through the portal, I want to like be keeping an eye on it and be ready to attack.
Okay.
I'm gonna destroy water in the area, not the pillar, but I'm going to take all of the humidity out of the air so that way the electricity has less to be conductive through.
Okay.
Also, I'm gonna take off my armor.
You were gonna say something.
Yeah.
I'll allow it before
Okay.
the timer ran out, but
Am
I'll
I still doing the song or?
timer's out, so you can. I'll say you just finish your song, as this is.
I was gonna do spike growth in front of the rift itself, and so I'd lay out that trap just in case the thing comes out.
Okay. All right. So let's start with Nyx, yours.
Well, I hope you let me.
So your silent image.
I have a 15-foot cube.
Uh-huh.
So I want to cast it completely around the portal and just kind of make it look like everything goes dark and like sucks in, so that he can't see us.
Outward?
Yeah,
Okay.
because it does say I can do a visible phenomenon.
Okay. I will allow that.
Okay.
Okay. So this kind of sucks inward, and you, because I believe it goes both ways, so you guys can't see into the portal, but you would assume that means that he can't see out of the portal.
Okay.
Tail. So you're putting up the giant bone to kind of support the ice. You're pulling barrels over. I want you to make a dexterity check. Let's say.
Would my song about Tail give him inspiration?
No, because I allowed it to inspire Nimwe's.
He already has inspiration from you from earlier.
No,
does.
I used
He
it.
already used that.
Oh, you used it? Oh.
Yeah, so just do a general dexterity roll for me.
10.
A 10? Okay, so you pull the barrels over and kind of prop it up with the giant's bone up next to the metal rod as it's in the ice and hope that it's doing that. Kai, I want you to make another strength roll to try and help support that. As this is happening, the spike growth starts come around the portal itself.
No, that's a 3.
A 3? Okay, so you guys set this up and you kind of go to hold it, and as you're holding it, your elbows and arms from the fight itself, you kind of feel that weakness. Your arms give way as it starts to and lean inward and like to the side again. The skeleton or the skull hits the edge of the portal again. You don't see the skull itself, but you see the like portal and the dark, like the image that Nyx had put on the outside of it start to like pull outwards, almost like a hand going through some type of fabric that starts to pull outwards. You can see the outline of the skull, and then it snaps back. And as it snaps back on the image itself and the edge of the portal, there's a crack. The portal starts to spread open. You have another 30 seconds.
Did he?
I'm gonna.
He has to make a save. I mean, I imagine he would beat that save, but he has to make a save to determine that that wasn't an illusion.
He failed, but he's still attempting to go through the it.
I'm gonna quick do control water because it's still active and like lean it back up and hold it there with control water because it's concentration.
Okay.
While she does that, I'm gonna say fuck this song, and then move up to Nimue, grab the decanter, and start pouring it all over the ice pillar to try, or like in the areas where it's weak, to try and
And I'm just like
strengthen
freezing the
where-
fuck out of it.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
Okay.
I'm gonna use more spider webs to like bind the giant rib to the metal thing too, so that it's helping that prop up more. Then I'm gonna take 2 human skulls, then like kind of crush them together and like touch the. I'm gonna kind of like try and climb up to like touch the metal thing, and then I'll prepare my abyssal thing that I'll say later.
Okay. I forgot to ask you.
it's
I'm
okay.
sorry. Yep.
I was pushing barrels together.
That's fair. Yep. Anything else for this go around?
Just be
Spike
ready.
growth is concentration, so I can't do much other than that.
Okay.
I'll just try to help get the pillar up, I guess.
I'll
Okay.
just be ready for creatures coming out of the portal because I can see that starting to happen.
Okay.
What is Artanus
Right
doing
there.
through all this?
Artanus is helping to try and like do things, but you can tell that this has never happened before. He has no idea, as he said, and you're doing this, and he's like, we've never had a portal, we've never had a column collapse on us before. This is new. We've had creatures escape, but they were smaller, and it was, it was unlikely that they would do anything quite crazy. I'm sorry. And he's like helping move the barrels and helping try and like get the pillar up and helping with the giant's bone and the webs. So what are you chanting in Abyssal?
Okay. So first mainly I'm going to be focusing on like the black dragon tattoo on my back.
Uh-huh.
Then I'm going to try hard to think back on what Callus said when she put that on me. Even though I don't remember exactly what she said because I couldn't remember it or I couldn't understand Abyssal yet. But I think about it and I say to the power that might have been bound on my back, I summon you to stop this abyssal.
Stop summoning dark powers that you don't know about.
I command you to like stop this abyssal rift from opening. If this tattoo on my back is something meant to like hold powers or capture souls, then I will use it to keep this rift from opening, if that makes sense.
Like use your soul or the power that was imbued in the tattoo?
In the tattoo.
Okay. Make a wisdom check.
Okay. 15.
15. Okay. The rest of you, you're all trying to assist each other and holding it up the ice. I need 2 of you to make a roll with advantage. I need a dexterity roll and a strength roll.
I will do
Dex, please.
Wait, so you said 1 dex, 1
strength.
strength, and then what were the first 2?
Just 2 of you. What?
2
Just
people.
2 people.
With advantage.
one of each with advantage.
what's your strength?
She's got the best strength with
You do
12.
it then.
Okay. Yeah. Can I roll Dex?
Yeah, go
Yeah.
for it.
You
Yeah,
go
roll
for it.
dex.
Is that with advantage
Sure.
too?
Yep.
Ooh. 17.
For strength. Oh, nice.
Okay.
21 for Dex.
Okay. So Tail, as you start chanting this in Abyssal, and the rest of you are working fervently to keep the rod up, frozen in the ice to it. You're holding the decanter,
Bless you.
and it's freezing as rapidly as your control water is like controlling it and freezing it around it. Kaya, you're holding the thing up. Mix, you're going around, same thing. You're helping wrap the spider webs and keeping it upright. The rod seems to stay in place, and you can hear Tail chanting this Abyssal, and there's a flash and kind of a wobble from Tail, and the portal itself, your image dissipates as you're helping, and you see this skull ram into the side of the wall, push forward into all of you, almost coming within 5 feet. You can see now the skull, the emerald eyes pulling at the edges of this portal. The edges of the portal start to crack, but as you have the rod in place, the electricity almost like gets drawn to the rods themselves. There's a flash, and the rods pulse this like red glow, and there's a surge, and it surges the portal, and the portal slams closed about a foot as it was, and the skeleton, as the skull's in your face, gets thrust backwards, and the portal stabilizes. And you see the skeleton, kind of the spectral body floating and looking into all of your faces,
Almost like
and then backing out of view. It dissipates. The portal stabilizes. Artanus breathes a sigh. Okay. Now we need to do something to make sure this is going to stay. If this melts, if this portal destabilizes again, I have only been taught stories of what it is I assume that to be, and we cannot allow that through.
What is it?
Certain demon lords have servants, undead mages that have dedicated their lives to immortality. These liches, or what is left of them, some of them seek their way back through here, these portals. I believe that to be one of them. The eyes and the way that skull is shaped, it reminds me of a story that I couldn't put my hands on it. I would have to go back down and check, but for now we must find a way to stabilize this tower, or this rod.
Did I feel anything after I did that?
Nope.
I have stone shape.
I was just about to say, don't you have stone?
Yep. Artanus, maybe I can be a stone shape and a pillar back together real quick.
If you can do that, that would be the
Would it
best
be detrimental
situation.
for me to take away the ice now? Or now that it's
Why don't you
stabilized?
just have
If we
the
can-
stone pillar built around the ice?
That might do good. I mean, but once the ice melts, would it not leave the stone pillar weak?
hollow? But we could fill it after we take out the ice. We could fill it with like a cement sort of mixture.
I'm
sand.
not
More
skilled in
stone.
the arcane nature of these things, but if you know how to do so, I trust. Especially after this engagement we have just had, I trust you all to your abilities.
All right,
We
so
appreciate
I
Why don't we take piece by piece, take like the water away, and then you slowly stone shape it from the bottom up?
But wouldn't we have to go from the top up? Because if we go from the bottom up, it will topple.
Well, oh, right. You can't use magic to not let that
Oh, well, I
happen?
guess I could hold it up. The
If
control
ice
water lasts
holds it
for
in
an
place,
hour.
I believe
I can
logic
hold
would-
up the ice with control water.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry,
I'll
I
do that.
answered as Artanus, but yes,
It's
you can
okay.
do that.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
cool.
my God. It's okay. You get
So
used
yeah,
to it.
yeah, I'll just create a very similar pillar to the other ones, and then as stone from the ground.
Yeah, and as he like
Yeah.
starts creating it from the bottom up, I'll just like take away a slice and like shoo it out of there.
Okay. And in that exact fashion, you all watch as the dust and the crumbled stone starts to
Hell yeah.
swirl
DeWitt
and
Nimue,
take shape
Dream team.
into a column. And as each layer is built, the ice, you watch Nimue just as focused, kind of swirling and pulling waterbender style, each layer of ice away as the stone starts to shape around it. And within about 15, 20 minutes, a column shapes holding the rod in place, and you pull away that last layer of ice, and you all wait, look at it. 15 seconds pass, 20, 30, and there's that collective sigh as a minute passes, and it seems to hold in place above the portal, still stable.
DeWitt, can you keep using that spell to maybe buff the like bottoms of the other pillars, like all the pillars, to like sort of make
Let
them
me see
even
how it
stronger?
works. And then
Is that
I'll
possible?
let you know.
Is my giant bone still there? Or is it?
I mean,
Where'd it go?
he's shaping the pillar and the ice around. So I'd say as like the layers of ice melt, there's like that, the bone falls and
Okay,
just wobbles
good.
onto the side.
I put it
There's
back in
spider
my-
webs kind of sprawled out around
Put
the
it back
edge.
in my sack. And I gather the spider webs too, if I can. Salvage some.
It's
They're a bit
instantaneous.
torn and wet. And
Oh, it's instantaneous, so you can't keep using it. It's not like a concentration.
No, so I would just make a pillar and then that's it.
Okay. Well, you have the mold earth cantrip, don't you?
Yeah, but that's for earth and we're on a
dark.
tower.
Well,
Made
there's
out of
not-
stone,
Earth that we can go find?
There is a
I just think that maybe we should
tower.
try to shore up the defenses of these pillars. Do you understand?
These defenses have lasted us thousands of years.
I don't think that's our
Really?
responsibility
Why are
at the
they
moment.
failing now?
I couldn't tell you. I mean, this tower itself has fallen into disrepair. I could only imagine it's because I don't have the manpower to upkeep everything.
You used to have people here to help you.
I used to have a whole team
Oh,
here.
what happened to them?
Maybe we should retreat back to the tower itself and have a drink and discuss this.
Okay, that sounds good to me.
We'll know if anything else happens up here. And he sheaths his two swords and kind of steps up to you, Seven, and says, "May I?" And reaches out for the bow.
Oh, well, yes.
Takes it. Puts it back
he
into
really
his
don't wanna.
quiver. You all make your way back down into the tower itself. Gather around one of the wooden tables there, and Artanus fills a bunch of different, makeshift old dusty mugs. He pulls some of them off of the top of that cask of ale and blows, and there's like a cloud of dust that blows off of a lot of them. And he does the college guy who doesn't give a shit check and looks in them, and there's still a little dust, and he just and, fills it with ale anyway, and comes back and sets mugs around to all of you and sits at the head of the table and says, "Well, after you have all been so willing to assist me in this, I feel that I'm only owe you answers to whatever I can. So, the question you asked me before, what was it again?"
What happened to your friends that helped you here?
Well, my name is Artanus Valuria.
Sorry, one more time.
Artanus Valuria.
Valuria?
And I am a member of the Prime Vigil.
What is that?
The Prime Vigil was an order created a long time ago in order to protect this plane from incursions from all manner of different realms. There are rifts that exist many places on this planet. Back in my time, there were many of them. Those dissipated when your gods, these beings that you follow, and he gestures to the symbol on your chest, when these deities came to Kenya.
Which was a very long time ago?
Yes, from what I understand, you are all taught that these beings came here and created this world. Am I wrong?
That is what we are taught, yes.
That is not the case. There are civilizations and beings that have been around for ages longer than these gods
Oh, like
existed
what?
on this plane.
Like what sort of things?
What sort of civilizations?
I belonged to a civilization, an empire that existed long ago, and they lost their way, but they existed far longer than these gods and this civilization that they supposedly created. This empire I belonged to was known as the Altamari Empire,
Oh my
and it
God.
spanned
Does that name sound familiar at all?
To none of you.
Altumari?
Altamari. Their dominion spread majority of this globe, and it took thousands of years for them to obtain that control. It started off good. You see, it benefited the people, and there was prosperity and magical advancement, but it was this very advancement that, well, drove them to their downfall. The upper echelons of our empire started to experiment with these powers that they had come to obtain and learn, and it began to open rifts, open these portals that connected to other realms, other places that existed that none of us had even dreamt of or known. But what we found there was not like anything that we had supposed, not like us at least. Creatures poured from most of these places and wrought chaos and destruction, and thusly the Order of the Prime Vigil was created. This order was, well, in essence, sent about to protect the realm from this. This tower that you find yourselves in now is known as Sett's Watch.
Sett's Watch.
Sett'. And it was one of the first, not the first, but one of the first that was created to prevent such things, and many like it exist. At one point, each was manned by a team that was trained and set to protect the material plane from these incursions. But then the divine emerged from some of these rifts, some of these portals that were opened up to different planes. Creatures emerged and made themselves known to harness abilities and powers far greater than anything we had mastered or anything we had experimented with or understood. And for a while, we lived in harmony. We worked with these divine, and they helped us to achieve an age of knowledge and prosperity that we couldn't have ever dreamt of. But with time and power comes greed. And that is what our empire fell to. It wasn't long before a conflict emerged. I don't know much of the details. During the end of the empire's reign, I myself joined, well, a group that served to bring about the awareness of their thirst for power and their secretive drive to harness these things that they had no right in understanding, no right in trying to control. So I did not know much of the political nature of things, but I know that something caused their relationship with these divine, these beings that you now worship, to crumble. And a war was had. Our empire was utterly demolished. And the group that I served with chose to side with these divine, as we felt that our empire had gotten out of control and needed guidance. It needed a hand greater than its own to shape and stop us from what we had already done. We had caused rifts, we had caused wounds in this entire plane. Something had to be done. I feel that we were right, but many did not, and it caused a rift in our entire world. And then I joined the Prime Vigil around that time and felt I had a place. And years passed where we kept the peace. All of our towers and the structures built around these portals, like the one you have just seen, were all connected in some way. If there was ever a larger breach or a larger force that came through, we could assist each other. But over time, I have lost connection to these other places. I have ways to travel there, but the few times that I have done so, no one else remained. The rods held in place and kept most of the portals at bay, but I, being one man, couldn't control all of them, so I made my way back here to where I was originally stationed and sought to keep up my oath that I had taken. It may just be me, but it is all I can do to keep the flow of these other planes into this world at bay.
Are the other watchtowers, they're not being manned, so there could be things like this happening at them?
To my knowledge, yes.
Are these watchtowers perhaps placed upon ley line convergences?
I can't say I know much about arcane knowledge to give you that answer, but I would assume that these... No, he said that he doesn't know much about arcane.
okay.
So I would assume that the reason for these rifts, it wouldn't be far past my logic to assume that's what's happening.
Do you know where other watchtowers might be?
You said that you had
Or-
ways to
yeah,
get to them?
Across the entire globe.
If there weren't close to here.
Not to here. This is one of the few on this continent.
Where are others on this continent?
Well, in places that are most likely named differently than they are now. You wouldn't understand their names, but at other continents, there are some that exist on the ocean's floor. Across the entire planet, there are rifts that opened and watchtowers and structures like this that were set up to control the flood.
Did these rifts ever bring creatures that made other creatures mad?
I'm not sure I understand the specifics of what you are asking, but most of these creatures are not good.
Oh, I meant if those creatures can turn creatures that live here angry or like insane. or
Well, I
things
wouldn't
like
put it
that.
past demons to do so, as you have seen up above. We had a similar situation, though a column was not destroyed, but some creature left from the containment field and escaped. I was unable to take advantage of stopping it, but
What did it look like?
it was. Are you familiar with the term a daibuk? It is a demon that is known for controlling.
Oh,
So you have seen this had to have been, well, 3 to 4 cycles ago.
Like
one of
moon
those
cycles?
creatures we had encountered and we attacked and killed it before.
It could be the very one.
Sorry,
I
I know myself.
there hasn't been much activity in this portal or this rift for rotations. It has been many. I haven't seen them in quite some time, but there have been a couple of recent, and that is one of them, and it escaped. And today I am grateful for your help for not allowing that mistake to happen again, because if it had just been me, there is a chance that this would have happened.
Yeah, that was lucky.
So is this happening at all the other watchtowers across the entire continent, and this is the only one being watched?
I would believe so. I have lost communication for many cycle. It has been hundreds of cycles since I've...
Is he talking about moon cycles?
Sorry, it's been rotations. Hundreds of rotations since I've...
Oh, like the Earth's
Years.
rotation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you not understand what I speak of?
No,
No.
not really.
I don't really know what a rotation is.
Like
Are you
You
talking
see-
about a year?
The celestial bodies that exist within our solar system here, they revolve around the orb in the sky, the sun, that provides warmth and light to this planet. We all revolve around it. And this is what, in my time, we called a rotation. It took for us to end up in the same place around this once.
We call them years now.
I like
It has been hundreds of years then
rotation
since I have
seems-
had any contact with any other person
So
within the order.
how long ago was it that you joined the order?
I am 1304, so it was...
Oh, that long time.
You've been keeping track this whole time. That's really impressive.
When you are here alone, there is not many things that you can do to entertain yourself, and one of them is to give or take, but it is one of the things you can do to track the passage of time. It is...
Wait, I thought elves didn't live that long.
Well, in my day they did.
So elves are more shitty now, is what you're saying.
Did Bartholomew's tower resemble this tower in any way?
Other than it being kind of stone-shaped, no, not necessarily.
Have we ever seen anything like this? Have any of us ever seen anything like this?
I mean, it just looks like a stone watchtower. It doesn't, I mean, it doesn't look abnormal, out of the ordinary.
Right, makes sense.
I heard of anything like this from learning,
Like what specifically?
like about.
Yeah, have any of us heard of like the Prime Vigil?
Yeah, have I heard of that? Have I heard like that side of the history?
Not even requiring rolls. The Prime Vigil is not a thing that any of you have heard of.
Right, makes sense.
So did you meet divine beings that come through the portal?
Personally, no. I had seen them, but
Which ones? All of them?
I'm not sure. They looked like you or I. They just possessed abilities that were far beyond anything that we could have ever imagined.
Do you know how to ward off from these divine beings or gods from possessing your body?
I don't possess the knowledge or even mentality to do so, but I would say that not a single person I would know would, or the empire that I existed in would not have fallen.
I have
Oh,
a couple of questions.
Please.
This one seems kind of vague, but have you have you ever heard of anything like an entity or being referred to as a foul beast? Which I know that can be descriptive for any one creature, but does that ring a bell?
There are plenty of
Specifically?
foul beasts that exist, and the creatures you saw today serve many of them within the abyss. The demon lords themselves are some of the foulest that exist in the multiverse.
Okay.
The multiverse. That's canon.
Before I forget it. Demon Lord.
do you know anything about demon rituals or abyss or things like that?
I have only ever served this portal, and I have
Okay.
fought demons, but I don't know much of their rituals or their ways.
Okay.
I have one more question for you. Does the name Lord Tenebris mean anything to you?
It rings a bell. I couldn't pinpoint who it is, but I
Hey, listen, I can detect thoughts. Maybe I could, if you think about it, I could check your subconscious or something.
if that's what you wish, but I can say that my memory is astute, and if I recalled who it is, I'm sure I could remember that.
Oh, okay, just making
Reason.
sure then. Yeah.
But you could try if you wish.
Sure. I'll try it.
Do you delve further in?
Yeah.
He allows you to do so no save on his part, and you push through the base layer of thoughts, and you see his mentality thinking about different flashes of like hundreds of different encounters, all of them on top of this watchtower, and almost watching them, you see the slow decay of the top of the tower itself. Less and less people around him as these things have been happening, and there are a couple flashes of him checking symbols on these creatures and things like that, and nothing gives you a definitive answer, but you see a lot of him investigating and kind of him piecing together the different beings and lords that these creatures belong to.
Okay, as I am looking though, and I realize that, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna say, what about Tails' symbol on his eye? Do you remember anything like
It
that?
seems familiar, but I can't recall exactly how.
Do you know anyone like named?
What, do I get like a flash of like where he sees the symbol or anything?
Like where he kind of.
Because like you said, he sees symbols on the creatures and stuff like that.
The memories don't pull anywhere. It's foggy. Like you
Like, I
see
can't,
him
like-
thinking about the symbol, and it's Tail's face, and he's thinking about the symbol, and it's almost like his brain taking the symbol away from Tail, and you see the symbol in his mind's eye, but it doesn't go anywhere.
Okay.
Do you know about great hero named Valley?
And has his I see, like, as his memory goes, I see what he's thinking about as he's shifting his
You see
consciousness.
him think of visions of clashes against forces, what you can only assume to be during the war. And one of the flashes that comes is almost like a mission briefing where they're in this room and the person is talking of the enemy forces being led by hero named Valley.
What does everyone look like in there?
I mean, you see a mix of races. There's elves, there's humans.
So this would be. So I could assume this is the civilization he was a part of that turned against the divine beings, or what?
No, this would be during the divine war, the divine conflict itself, where the gods clashed against each other.
Wait, so he's saying that
He belongs to a civilization that existed before the gods even came to this realm. And there was
Right.
a war with the gods with his civilization.
Yeah.
But after that.
So he's saying the enemy forces are being led by a hero named Valley?
Yes.
Wait,
And does anyone no one has tail symbol on them, right? Okay.
wait. So Valley was the leader of which side?
Valley was one of the heroes, one of the champions during the war for the good gods, essentially.
Okay, good. And he served under which god? Did he have a god specifically? that he was, like,
I don't think
serving
you
under?
guys have gotten that information.
Well, would Artanus know?
Okay.
Do you know anything about platinum dragons?
Whoops.
I know of a platinum dragon.
You do?
He's a being that is worshipped by many on this plane.
Oh,
Bahamut.
oh, that's cool. Do you,
I've never seen him, nor do I believe he's physically been on this plane itself, but he is known of and worshipped.
you don't know person that might know this Bahamut.
I do not, I am sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
So, about the dragons that we talked about last time, and we sort of touched on the fact that we knew of a dragon that was poisoned and that you might know what he might be poisoned by.
Yes.
Do you recall what that poison might be and how we might fix it?
Well, again, I'm not sure exactly what poison it would be, but there must be powerful herbs used if a poison affected a dragon of this nature and of the status that you have explained to me. There must be some powerful herbal medicines
Do you
needed
think
to
that
cure it.
Could have come, like, any of those herbs exist on this plane, or would they have had to have come from a different plane?
They would have had to have come from somewhere else.
Do you know which plane that is?
It was not
likely?
my specialty, unfortunately.
So, do you know of any people or beings with which have done this sort of thing in the past?
I do not.
Can the portal upstairs only be used to go to whatever hellhole that is up there, or?
It is attuned to the abyss.
Great.
Did you change the attunement?
Myself, no. Could someone else? I'm not sure if that magic is possible.
Body?
I'm not positive if a portal's vibration can be changed to attune to a different plane.
Have you tried dispel magic on that?
Yes, it has been tried. In
Have
my
you
time.
tried
We had very
putting-
powerful arcane users, and these portals are wounds in the material plane. They're wounds in the fabric of reality.
What happens if you put the bag folding into the portal?
Well, I'm sure that those experiments have been done in my time. It did not happen in my observation or anywhere around me, but I can only imagine, knowing what this item is, that it would not end very well.
So, like, how much?
But would it close it?
I can't imagine so, or these rifts would have been closed long before, thousands of years
That's
ago.
something to keep in mind if we ever go through a portal, I suppose.
Have people ever, like, tried to transfer, like, life energy into healing the portals? Like, has anybody tried healing magics or anything on them?
Can't give you that information. I just know that they exist and things have been done to try and close them, and nothing has succeeded, or else I would not be here thousands of years after the fact.
Do you know of any creatures that look like these? They have flesh covered over their mouths. They have glowy eyes of some color. they can copy things that you do.
I've never encountered any of these creatures. No.
Okay.
So are you going to be staying here forever? Or are you
As
going
long
to
as-
retire one
As
day?
long as I am alive, I must uphold my oath that I took
How
to
old-
protect this realm.
How old does Artanus look?
He looks young, like Alar's age.
So he's like 1,300 years old, and he looks like he's going to live another like 5,000.
Probably.
Sounds lonely.
It is. You are the first company I've had in revolutions.
So, Artie,
And even then, the ones I did, I ended up having to kill.
do you want to become friends?
I would say that we are acquainted. To gain my friendship usually takes more than one interaction. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate what you have done for me here, but
Oh, okay.
So,
I believe we can become good friends.
so things in that portal can still come out, even with those things holding it at bay.
the rods provide stability to the rift itself, and they provide an area around the tower that holds whatever creatures should emerge if it happens to stay within that area until they are dealt with. I have never had any of the creatures seek to destroy the rods nor possess the intelligence to do so, and I'm not sure how these ones today found. They came here with a purpose, with a reason to do so. It's like they knew. They were trying to release whatever it was in that portal that we stopped.
The Lich. Do you know of which Lich this could be? Which
Right. He goes into the other room and grabs a book and comes back and flips through the pages for a moment and says, "It could be one of many. The liches who seek immortality, they usually end up in places like the Abyss, serving lords who offer to grant them powers far more than they possess at the moment. But the emerald eyes, they stick out to me, but
And as his consciousness changes, can I see like what he sees or anything?
I mean, he's just reading the book, and you can see him kind of thinking through different names and phrases and different like liches. And as he's looking through the pages, and he says, "I'm not sure who this one is, but I would be much keen to know who he serves. This master that will find another way into this plane."
Do you know where we might be able to find more information?
Well, we did not check the bodies of these beings, and usually they like to wear symbology for whoever it is that they are serving.
Oh, don't worry. I will be back. Then I'm going to go upstairs and grab things.
Yeah.
What kind of things?
Everything.
Make an investigation check.
Guidance on your way out.
He's just tearing them
You did
apart
too
limb
fast.
by limb. I'm going to need this arm and this leg.
You're right, because I rolled a 6.
Are we spelunking?
So, Till comes back down 15, 20 minutes later with arms and body parts.
That wasn't helpful.
Oh, it helped me later. Then I put it in my bag.
Special tool that will help us later.
Okay, what types of limbs do I have in my bag?
Oh,
I was going to ask.
Oh, but he needs to know what kind of limbs you got.
Yeah, it's important. Okay.
I'll give you that later.
Okay.
So when we were at Bartholomew's, like a lot of his books and the stuff that he had was super old. Would I be able to take a guess if the age of those things was about as old as like Artanus? Like how old were they in relation to?
Make an intelligence check.
Six.
6. They're old. They're old. You're not sure though if they relate.
Do you know of a mage, sorcerer, whatever he's called, named Bartholomew? Have we already asked you this?
You've not asked me, but I do not recognize this name. No.
Can I perhaps trade you something for some of those dragon teeth?
I am not willing to part with these as they are a tool used by my order. However, I did notice that the archer in your group lacks a certain well, a certain
Je ne sais quoi.
yes. Your bow, while it is versatile and useful, does not seem to affect creatures as thus we face today, and I feel that
Yes. I was going to ask you about that later once everybody was done bombarding you with questions.
Oh, I'm not done.
Yes, you never are. Yes.
I can work and talk. Are you particularly fond of the bow that you possess now?
Oh, quite. For very arbitrary reasons.
It's a schlong bow.
Well, I can provide you with a new instrument of destruction,
Oh.
but I can unfortunately not do anything with this current.
Oh, that's quite all right. I can adjust.
We'll put it in the bag of holding so you can say that you at least still have the schlong.
Very well. He steps into that back kind of workshop-like room and comes back out like 5 minutes later with another bow of that dark wood that's very finessed and elegant looking, elven quality, and one of the jars that, or not one of the jars, a few of the jars, and sets them down on the table and sets the bow and says, "Now, what element drives you? What element do you prefer? I can only enchant it with one."
Ooh, one single element, eh?
Of course, and it is a hard choice, but there's got to be one
It's like Professor Oak.
one form of nature
The
that
avatar element.
drives you.
Water!
Only the Avatar master all four elements.
Well, you guys know I'm not the Avatar. Oh.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. If you can only imbue it with one element.
Do lightning, so we can match.
Classic brother, dude.
So definitely not lightning.
Do cold damage
Okay,
at 6.
so do thunder, so you come after me.
No, if it is possible, I would like ice.
This can be done. And he
Perfect.
sets the bow on the
I'm
table
the coolest.
and
My suggestion was the coolest.
looks through some of the labels on the jars themselves and selects one and pulls out the dragon's tooth and sets it down and puts the jar and says, "This enchantment, it bleeds into the bow and to the string itself. It cannot be transferred and it cannot be changed once it is complete." And he picks up the bow and kind of closes his eyes, and you see a surge rush, and the black dark wood suddenly starts to sprawl and spiral with these elven runes that aren't like common elvish, but in the same elvish dialect that you've seen on all the labels in here, and spiral up the bow themselves in this white dull glow. And he takes the dragon's tooth and starts to mutter in this same dialect. And speaking elvish, you pick up a couple of words that sound similar to some that you've heard, but you can't understand a single thing that he is saying. And he begins to run the dragon's tooth down the string
What is this,
of
God
the
of
bow.
War 20?
Yeah.
2020, dude.
And as he does, you can see tendrils of ice start to pull from the like root of the dragon's tooth and start to spiral into the string of the bow itself. And there's almost this air of frost that cakes to the string as he pulls it down, and kind of performs this for about 5-10 minutes, muttering these phrases, and finally opens his eyes and places the tooth back in the jar and holds out the bow to you, and the frost settles and dissipates into the string, and the glow of the runes fade, and it's just a dark wood bow that he hands to you. It is a long bow, and he says, "You will have to spend some time tuning your essence to the essence of this item, but once you do, you will speak a command word. And the word itself is Kliar. Once you do this,
Thank God he said it, otherwise that would have been a problem.
Now
God, I
every time
don't know what to
Seven says
say.
it's clear.
he hands you the bow.
Do I recognize the meaning of that word? If that's Elvish?
Cold.
You
Chilly.
don't. It is rooted in like the Elven word for
Nippy.
cold frost, but it's still the exact meaning escapes here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Elves
It's a
are
tidbit.
perverts. At least the old ones are.
Do you have tips and tricks on how to become friend with dragons? Seeing as you
never
have
became friends with dragons.
Oh.
so I
We're
couldn't-
already friends with the dragon. I don't know what you're talking about.
But I want
These
to
teeth were
become
provided to the
more
order by
friends.
some of the elders of their council that existed back in my time. There was a
Oh.
truce, though uneasy, a truce between these creatures and our empire, and it was a bit stronger between our order and theirs, as we both sought the same thing.
Oh, okay.
It was during the divine and their conflict that there was a split between the dragons, and some of them chose a side.
Oh, that interesting.
And as he's speaking, Nix, you feel kind of a rustle in your pocket, and you look down and you can see Flicker's head kind of poke out as it's still nighttime and kind of look at you all. And Artanus kind of turns his head and cocks and goes, hello, little friend. And kind of draws some glyphs in the air. And he says, and he turns to Flicker and just says, he says a couple things. It doesn't sound like bat squeaks, but you can understand like what is said. But then you hear Flicker kind of squeak back towards him, and he, your friend is quite pleased with your companionship. It seems, well, you've done a good job of taking care of him. He also mentions that you are unable to communicate.
Stop it! Stop! No!
If you would like, I can...
Flicker's a boy.
Oh, sorry, she. I'm just... If you'd like, I can
Are you gonna cry?
teach you to do this. It is quite rudimentary. It is something we learn early on.
Yeah, it's quite rudimentary. Yeah, I guess that would be pretty cool.
What's new, Flicker Man? Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Now you'll be able to actually sing it to Flicker.
So he spends some time kind of showing you the hand gestures and the runes. And you can add Speak with Animals to your spell list.
Seven got this sick Osmo. He's like, sweet. Speak with animals. Oh my fucking god!
This is mind blowing. Yeah, God.
I've had speak with animals this whole time. Yes. It's a ranger thing.
Yep, it is.
Well, what am I gonna do? Speak to animals? Yeah, right.
Don't even speak to anyone.
I know.
He says,
Oh my god.
I really cannot thank you enough for what you've done here today. Is there any other questions or anything that I can answer while you are here?
Appreciate that.
You are
Do you know any
welcome.
good songs?
I was not much of a singer. We did have one of my old team did know how to sing quite well, and it did bring me quite comfort in hearing your voice. But I do not sing. No.
Fair enough. Do I know who he's talking about? When I look
Uh,
back through his memories?
As you're still in his, I don't know how long it lasts
lasts a
for you to
minute,
be
so-
able to. Yeah, it would have dissipated by this point.
Do you have cool things that might help us in future besides bow?
Well, we can
Like,
talk to Flicker now.
Do you have
What more do
map
I-
of world?
Sorry, I don't usually have a thing of a stash of things lined up to give 6 people who just randomly
you've done more than
stumble
enough.
into my tower.
Yeah, he gave us stuff after we
Appreciate it.
tried to steal his things.
Oh,
I don't think
that-
we should
No,
ask for
but
that.
also
Shouldn't
didn't
ask
save
for
his life
anything.
because of
You've
that.
done
thing
so
at
much.
I'm
the
surprised he
portal
didn't
probably
kill us
would've
like the
killed
rest of the
him.
people that come in here.
That's
Flicker.
probably true.
Aren't you so happy that we can talk together now?
Do you cast speak with animals?
Fucking do.
Flicker just because it's still a bat, so it's not like a super intelligent creature, but there's like a yeah, I'm so excited.
Believe it.
Yes.
Believe it.
That's all Flicker can say.
Believe it.
Yeah, Flicker
Believe
is
it.
Naruto.
Believe it.
I'm so excited. Date by
Your Flicker's Hokage.
Believe it.
Hokage.
That's so funny. I'm so happy. I think that maybe we should go to bed. I'm incredibly tired. I've spent a lot of spells.
Oh, I'm tired too.
Can we pay you to stay the night here?
No, you are more than welcome to stay here. There are plenty of beds in the bunk room. And however many nights you wish, though I do feel as if you,
We're kind of in the middle of something.
well, your companionship and company this evening has been much appreciated, and
Oh, so we are friends.
sure.
Cool. Then I'm gonna write his name down in my book.
I am going to go.
Just
Away
breeze past
now.
it.
I'm going to go clear the top of the tower of the remnants of this battle and try to decipher if I can find out who was behind this.
Well, if you find out anything about any of the questions I've asked you at all, let us know. I can stay in contact with you, like once we leave. I can check in every now and again. Not too often, but you know,
And
if
if
you
you
find
wish.
out anything, just like let us know. That'd be really nice.
You have all had experience with demons before. Do any of you have any? If we were to go find symbology on these creatures, would anybody be able to?
Would I?
Do we know Lord Tenebrus's Mark?
No, you've never
But-
come across it.
What about the
Tail
I
can
might-
speak abyssal. But are we talking about symbology, or are we talking about just being able to read things?
Both?
I can help. I can speak the language, and I know little things.
I might be able to help.
Well, anybody who would wish. He turns and steps out and heads back up to the top of the tower.
I follow.
I follow.
Okay.
Same.
Begins kind of moving the bodies and searching. One of you can make an investigation check with advantage if you would
Not
like.
me.
I will do it, okay? Is that okay?
Yeah.
I'll just ask Varuna tomorrow.
Yo, what's going on?
Yeah.
Tell me what's happening, Verna.
That is going to be
Spill the
a
tea, Varuna.
21.
A
for
21?
Investigation.
So, as you're moving the remnants of the bodies of these demons that had come through, the ones that had the hoods and the long, expanded mouths that were almost void-like, you're kind of searching through, and they don't seem to have any like material possessions on them. It was the thin, tattered robe. But as you're kind of moving the robe and you pull it aside, you can see on one of them that chest wasn't destroyed and the innards cut out that you had done. There is some type of symbology carved
into its chest, like carved in and scarred and having long been there. And you point this out, and Artanus just says, sometimes, from what I know, these creatures, especially some as this, have carved the symbology of their masters into their being. Does anybody here? I do not recognize quite this symbology.
Does anybody recognize it?
Make a religion check with advantage. Somebody who is proficient in religion.
I'm proficient in religion.
You can both roll
What's your
separately,
bonus?
or you can make an advantage roll.
Okay, mine's only +2, so you go ahead.
Oh.
I should not have let her do it.
14.
A 14?
Yeah.
Okay. That's enough. As you kind of looking at this symbol, something sparks in some of the research that you had done. And you'd researched threats in your studies to this plane. And demons were part of that. And especially the forces that led these demons. And this symbol, looking at it, it is the symbol of the Prince of Undeath, Orcus.
Oh, no.
That is carved into the chest of this creature, and searching further and finding the adornments of the one that flew, the demon that flew. He also possesses a metallic symbol that possesses the same symbol. Not same symbol, but this symbol is almost of a mace that has the head of like a human skull as the head of this mace, but it also refers to the symbology of Orcus.
Wait. Orcus was the one that when I was doing research on Varuna and I was looking if she had any like direct counterparts, it was Orcus.
Yep.
That was
He was the direct counterpart to Varuna, the Lord of Undeath, the thing that Varuna seeks to eliminate.
Did I ever hear that name before?
I was that lady with the meme with like the numbers.
Yeah.
As
Taking the derivative.
As Kaya points this out, and you all kind of look up from what you're doing, make eye contact with each other, and gears start to turn, and things start to click. We will end tonight's session there. Thank you for listening, as always, everybody who has chosen to come on this journey with us. We appreciate you, and we'll be back with another wartime recap next week.
Yeah.
War has struck the material plane. Orcus attacks with forces unknown.
Wait, was that
War.
Orcus trying to
War
get
never
through?
changes.
Or was that like a lich of Orcus? Yeah, because Orcus wouldn't be trying to come through.
No,
himself.
Orcus is a little bitch.
Little
I feel
bitch.
like we need to end the episodes with the questions of like, what's gonna happen next?
Yeah.
What'll happen next time on Crit Seekers? Will Orcus make it to the material plane? Will the skull ever stop having chattery diamond teeth? No one will ever know.
Emeralds!
Gemmerals!
Will Aylar never be disturbed by us ever again?
No.
Will DeWitt ever get high?
Flicker, sing next.
What will Flicker say next?
Find out next week on Crit
Believe it.
Seekers. Date bayo.
Okay, we're ending.
Before it gets too out of hand.
Thanks again for listening to this week's episode of Crit Seekers. If you're still craving more from the gang, give us a follow on social media. Our Instagram and Twitter handles are @CritSeekers. There you'll find memes, character art, audio clips, and more to keep you satisfied until next episode. If you've enjoyed everything you've heard so far, please do us a huge favor and head on over to podchaser.com and give us a review. It will really help us out. New episodes are posted every Monday at 6 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Enjoy your week, and remember, friends who crit together, stick together.